What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy. And this is the Nerdy. Oh, I thought you might yell it from the other room. The Wordy, the book club. We're back for the 2-year anniversary stream. In this stream, we will be reviewing The Wheel of Time Season 2 and discussing our plans for the Cosmere, which starts in a week from today on January 5th. But for now, I'm going to give Clarissa a little bit of time by rolling that intro, maybe? It wasn't enough time. Hi, chat. How are we doing?
Sorry, I'm gonna need a hat or something.
Clarus needs a hat or something, apparently. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome to another edition of The Nerdy, the Wordy, the Book Club, a show where we discuss the Wheel of Time in the past, and we discuss Brando Sando in the future. An author who wrote 3 of the Wheel of Time books, one of which I really liked. How is everybody? Fabu Moose, yes, a book club in this economy, very funny, ha ha ha. Those are old inside jokes. We need to build new inside jokes for the Cosmere. For the Cosmere. I'm very excited for Final Empire. I haven't read a word of it yet. I was waiting for this stream to be over, and I was like, you know what? I'll do this stream and then we'll read the Cosmere. It's gonna be fun. Mistborn is so good. Yeah, Rhiannon Cates. I've heard Mistborn is great. People are so excited. The Discord is alive in a way that it hasn't been since like the early speculation days of Wheel of Time, which is so exciting to see. Like there's like a vibe going on about the Cosmere, and Clark's. She's been to like 5 rooms in the last 2 minutes. I don't know what's going on, but in this economy you'll never get out. Clark's even has a lovely sign. Yeah, we need to figure out how to get the sign is right there, but all you can see is like my grandmother's Star Wars wrapping paper through it. So we need to figure out a way to make that more visible. I got confused by the magic in Mistborn. Exalted Clown. Maybe I'll be able to clear that up. Maybe that'll be my place in the stories. I'll determine if it's good or not. I don't know.
Nerdy explains.
Nerdy explains.
Sup, chat? Oh, that's a nice headline.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
Okay.
Sorry, I had the internet open.
It's
that
fine.
Was my bad.
Politics. Let's go.
Hi everybody. David Peltier, thank you for $10 for Clarus's hat fund. I do like that you ran around to like 10 rooms to look for a hat and didn't find one.
Well, I was like, I'll just put my hair out of the way. It's the bangs that are not cooperating. So I had to put them back. What are you doing? You're pulling the clippy down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to put... Oh, wow. Yeah. Wild.
It's not that bad.
Oh, man. It was great. So, housekeeping before we get started today. This stream is brought to you by MistyMountainGaming.com. Misty Mountain Gaming is our favorite place to buy the accoutrement that makes the TTRPG games that we all know and love possible. If you want to buy some pretty-ass math rocks, go over there and use code nerdynightly15
Hell yeah.
for 15% off your order because they're the best.
If you want to see my new favorite dice, go watch our PC... what is that, the Parts Picker stream?
Which ones
the building stream?
The building stream.
The building stream. We had the dice, and I showed them off. They're very, very...
Which ones were your favorite?
The purple, the lava glass.
Oh, the lava glass. That's right.
Yeah, they're very cute.
If you are a fan of the D&D, and you are like, when are you guys going to play more D&D on this channel? The answer to that is soon. We are going to be... week from tomorrow, we're going to be filming the preludes of our upcoming Shadow of the Dragon Queen Dragonlance campaign. Those will then go up on Tuesday the following week. So those will go up on Tuesday the 9th.
Monday?
No, because the Expanse goes up on Monday and it gives me more time to edit. So on Tuesday you'll be able to see the preludes, you'll be able to meet the characters, and then on Saturday the 13th we're going to start that campaign with our first live session That will only be live to members here on YouTube and subscribers on Twitch. Sorry, Facebook. That won't be streamed to Facebook.
I don't think anyone's over on Facebook.
We get some comments. We got some friends over there.
That was a friend.
No, we have like an average of like 3 viewers on Facebook right now.
Oh, hi Facebook.
We're gonna build that page up, but we're just not gonna do it with the show. It's gonna be a Twitch members and or Twitch subscribers and YouTube members. I hate that the words are different.
I know.
Exclusive. That will then go live on Monday. That it will go live on Mondays. Publicly, an edited version of that. So the live version will be for members and subscribers. Mm-hmm. And yes, I know there is no sub on Twitch. It's why we have been streaming every day. We will also probably stream a little bit on this channel tomorrow, and then we will be able to have subs on Twitch as of early next week.
Yes, because right now Twitch is not affiliated. Can we close this?
Oh, yes.
I don't like words on the screen that I'm not reading.
Sure.
It's distracting.
Do you want me to move this over?
No, that's fine.
Is that better?
It does not matter. Yeah. Right now you can't subscribe on Twitch yet. We just have to reaffiliate that. So streams.
Yeah, working on it.
Yeah. It should be fine. Yes, more surprise streams.
Yeah. I'm not even really surprise streams, Trimtron. Like, I want to come back to streaming regularly. I want to beat Spider-Man on stream, and then I want to finish that Bard run of Baldur's Gate. And that's the streams probably for the next few months, honestly. I think that Baldur's Gate run is going to take us some time. And I'm going to be really focused on this Dragonlance campaign, making it the best that I can, because my players deserve good play. I'm also producing 2 other TTRPG shows by May. So it's going to be a big 5 months of TTRPG for me and for Clarus for the stuff that you're in.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
One
We're
of
very
those
excited.
is that Candela Obscura show. Stay tuned. We might be able to announce the cast of that like soon.
Pretty soon. Yeah, we got it's pretty stacked. Not gonna lie, we got some cool people on board.
Dave Peltier says we love those 2 a.m. streams. Lol, that won't happen very often. That was a mistake. I did not know I was live.
Blue, I'm actually going to stream tomorrow.
There it is.
I miss it, and I want to come back, and so we're slowing down on reactions to have more time for streaming and D&D stuff.
For more community stuff.
Yeah.
And also, like, you know, the reactions are contentious, and streaming just isn't. So, like,
it's more fun.
Yeah, people are mad at me.
I like hanging out with you. Yeah, but people will find anything to be mad at.
Yeah. Are the memberships not showing up in y'all's chat thing? Oh no, do gifted members not show up? That would be real unfortunate if that is the case.
Yeah, that's...
No, Dave Peltier, thank you for joining the Nargs. Y-Cross, thank you for joining the Nargs. Butts, lol. Blue gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Blue.
Guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention, because I did not notice.
Yeah, it does not show up in the chat that we have, so we're gonna have to make sure we have 2 different chats open.
I wonder if Twitch subscribers will, though.
I don't know.
Because we might have to have, like,
3
all the chats open.
Yeah, we might have to.
Good to know. Blue, seriously, thank you for bringing that up, because I would have felt bad.
And thank you for the gifted subs.
Yes. Truly, thank you.
Snowwolfa, I am also going to be restreaming.
Yeah. Claris will be on YouTube and Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. See how we like it.
What could
go wrong?
I like it so far.
Yeah.
It also saves us from having to, like, upload stuff to YouTube, because it's just already there.
Exactly, yeah. Because I was putting the VODs and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
So...
even if everybody watches it on Twitch, and then it's just live on YouTube forever. Because, you know, Twitch deletes yours after, like...
I have Prime, so I think I get,
weeks.
like... I think I get, maybe 2 months maximum.
The problem is that we're not going to have 2 Prime accounts.
No.
Like, that would just be so silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping to have the Twitch account affiliated by, like, Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then do some streams on it so that we have some subscribers over there when the first Dragonlance thing happens.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, that's a lot of housekeeping. We're here to talk about the Wheel of Time.
Hell yeah.
Clarus, how are you feeling about Wheel of Time Season 2 post taking
Christmas?
some time away from it.
Post Christmas. Yeah, I mean, look, my feelings on it haven't really changed. There was stuff that I really loved about it and stuff that I was like, what the fuck?
In hindsight, nothing stands out as like, I changed my mind about that, having seen all of it.
Changed my mind? No, not really. I still don't love the Lan Moraine back and forth. I think that it's time taken away from things that in my personal opinion are more important.
Okay,
and
yeah, I agree with
obviously that's gonna be subjective, right? If that storyline worked for you, then I'm very happy for you. But the Lan Moraine stuff was no for me, and the finale, the second part of it was just kind of a mess.
Yeah.
But other than that, there were some incredible performances.
Yeah.
Varen obviously is fantastic. I liked getting more moments, honestly, even though it fell into the Lan storyline with Alana and her warders. I think they did a great job.
Before you keep going, Icicle 3030 comes in and says, looking forward to watch this back when I can. Just here to thumbs up. Icicle,
we got a shout out.
We're going to be talking about you because we are going to be talking about predictions that we made while we were doing the books. That's going to be at the end of the stream because it is going to be full book spoilers.
Yes.
But Icicle literally wrote down every prediction we ever made during book club. And so at the end of the stream, when it's full book spoilers, we are going to be talking about Icicle's contribution and the incredible document they made tabulating all of our predictions. Some of them insane.
Yeah, actually wild. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find a way if there's a way that I can share this sheet in chat for people to look at.
Icicle would have to make it shareable because it's not ours.
Right.
Because it's view only
right
for
now
us.
It's view only. Yeah. Okay.
But Icicle, seriously, thank you so much. It was very special to read through that. And we're excited to talk about some of those predictions and things at the end of the stream. Mm-hmm. But for now, we're going to keep it as spoiler-free for the books as possible.
Yes.
So we can just talk about the show and have a good time with that. I hear what you're saying about your opinions not changing. I think that I probably spent more time with the show post-watch because you haven't watched any of it since, right?
Only little bits and pieces.
I've seen almost all of it at least twice.
Yeah.
And some of it more than that for Patreon upload reasons and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that the thing that really stands out to me, aside from Rural Flower being absolutely correct that Lanfear carried season 2.
Lanfear is the GOAT.
And I think even more so than Lanfear, I think the villains really carry season 2. I think in going back and watching it, and picking apart individual moments, the villains across the board were really interesting in season 2. Mm-hmm. I thought that the Sanshin were translated really well, and were taken seriously in a way that I really appreciated. You know? I still don't love the ball gag element of it, because I think that it diminishes the power that the Sanshin. I think that it, in a weird way, gets in the way of what is so scary about what the Sanshin do to the women in the Wheel of Time, which is demean them and mold them in a way that they would never need a gag.
Yeah.
So there's little things like that I think are indicative of the writing team of the Wheel of Time's misunderstanding of some of the key underlying themes and storytelling elements of the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Because the show often goes for very obvious choices that are just less interesting consistently.
Yeah.
Like the moment with Leandrin at the end of episode 4, or 5. I can't remember which one she attacks them in. But the villains are interesting and cool and varied and really well acted and well done. I think that consistently across season 2, the casting is really strong again.
Yep. Definitely.
I think everybody crushes it, no matter how small their part is. I think that Dane Bornhold was really well cast. He's fantastic.
Rena?
Yeah, Rima. Rima's great. Rima. Her warder is fantastic.
Wait, no. Is it Rena and Rima?
Rima is the yellow that they meet in Falma.
And the Sanshin who is in charge of Egwene is Rena?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Both of them, fantastic.
Yeah, I think Rena, I think, is perfectly translated.
Yeah.
Other than the final moment, which it just still doesn't work for me. And
Yeah.
I've watched it a few times, and it really falls flat for me, unfortunately.
Well, and Jacob asked if we're going to react to Brandon Sanderson's reaction. We already watched it. We didn't want to do too much reacting.
No, we just watched
Inception.
it, yeah.
And I honestly agree with Brando Sando.
Yeah.
Like, we were watching it, and we were like, I think we said, like, pretty much the same things.
A lot of them I think we really agreed with. The one that really stood out to me that I thought was so funny was that Brandon Sanderson and I both said the exact same thing about if you go back and watch our reaction, you go watch his reaction, we both in talking about the final moment on top of the tower go, I mean, Egwene just needs a sword. You don't need anyone else. Egwene just is lacking a sword or some version of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But I
we're
get
very much on the same page.
I get his frustration, right? Like he's coming at this from the point of view of like the guy who does really cool magic systems, and he's said this publicly, right? Like he's like, it's frustrating to me that my name's on it, and the thing that I'm really good at is a thing that the show isn't doing at all.
Yeah.
Which is being consistent with an interesting magic system.
Yeah.
And so I totally get why he is frustrated with his connection to this show that is taking one of his early works, right? Like he was pretty young in his career when he wrote The Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
And he revered Robert Jordan, and he revered this piece of work, and for him to be working on the show and struggling to help them produce it in a way that he thinks this story deserves. Like, you know, I think that it's difficult to be a creative who doesn't have the full control and be a fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a weird situation.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I understand why he, feels... why he has feelings on it.
Yeah.
You know? You know what I mean?
Well, and I think that, he is an author who is used to... He's never had any of his work adapted yet. And I think that he is very much used to being able to say, this is the story. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have the story be the most important thing. And I don't always think that the story is the most important thing in the show. Mm-hmm. Or at least the arc of the show isn't always the most important thing.
Yeah.
And I can understand why, as an author who's not used to having to work within the collaborative process, that the struggle of that is... It is different when you go from a solo project into this collaborative, multi-country spanning shoot, that multi-continent, right? Like they shoot in South Africa, they shoot in Europe, that also has to deal with what are the realities of tax breaks and what can we literally film in terms of stunts.
Yeah.
And I can understand where he brings things into his point of view, but at the same time he is right about the story, in my opinion. I do think that he's correct in his criticisms of the show, regardless of how you feel about how he presented them to the innkeeper.
Right.
Giovanni Oro, thank you for that for joining the Nards for
Welcome back to the Nerd
16
Table.
months.
Crazy.
Happy book club anniversary, and thank you for all the episodes. P.S. Have you received a package from Italy recently? Hope so. I must be made with the post. A package from Italy. Is there something at our post office? I don't think we've received it yet, but we will open it on book club when we do.
I can check.
Yeah. I don't believe so, though. But this isn't just about our opinions. I would love to hear, chat, how are you guys feeling about season 2 now that we're a month past it being over? More than a month past it being over.
It's been a moment.
Are you guys doing rewatches? Are you finding season 2 is inspiring you to rewatch the show? I guess is my question.
Well, Rural asked thoughts on the animated show, but I haven't heard anything about that, so I actually don't know what to think. I mean, the Origins never came out, so...
Yeah, and that to me is so indicative of Amazon's handling of this.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember when they fully produced those episodes? They were supposed to come out, and then they just didn't?
Yeah. Oh, oopsie, an intern made a mistake. What?
Like, maybe they're coming in August of 2024?
Sure. I don't see anything in our mailbox.
Oh, sorry, Giovanni. We'll let you know when it comes.
Unless, like, it got, like, mixed in with the stuff that other people gave us, because I wasn't sure.
I
Not
don't think
everything.
So. No, we know where all that.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't think everything had, like, a slip.
No, everything did.
Gotcha.
Yeah, people are saying rewatch season 2 was better. I rewatched the second season once. Better than season 1, but the finale brought down my mood again. I agree with that.
Yeah, the fact that they're not nailing their finales and that is the last thing that people see, I think is going to be detrimental to the show, because it's what you remember. Like, that's, like, we're, as human beings, our brains, like, first and last, everything in between, you know, is fine. But, like, those final moments have to leave an impact. Otherwise, it's like, meh. And the finale, I don't think was good. Does anyone have an explanation for how Moraine was able to attack those ships? No? We don't? No, okay. I was like, is it just me? Did I miss something?
So, Blue says, didn't finish season 2, and what I did watch kind of killed my interest in anything with the show. You only watched the first 3 episodes, right, Blue?
Yeah, Blue, the good episodes are, like, episode 5, 6, and we liked 7.
No. We hated what they did with Swan, and I spent the entirety of 7's complaining about...
Lanfear was in it a lot, so we liked Lanfear.
Lanfear is so good in 7, but even if you go back and watch my reaction, I spend the entirety of it being like, this sets up nothing for... The finale has to do everything because nothing happens here. Like...
Yeah. Yeah.
Wheel of Time says, if she believes the dragon will die and the world will end, then destroying the ships is defense of her own life. That is such a stretch. Like, that to me stretches the oath beyond...
Well, yeah, because then you could be like, well, what if this person has a son and that son attacks me in my old age?
You get into the, like, the White Cloaks being like 7 generations of sin upon your family, but 10 if it was a woman.
Yeah.
Or, well, I can't remember which one it is, but...
Yeah. Yeah, the dragon... Yeah, the dragon... Why? Why are the people looking up and cheering at something that they can't see, except for a monster that could attack them at any moment?
That's coming from the place that fireballs have been raining down on them for the past, like... Yeah. It really is... It's a finale that is so rule of cool...
Yeah, and if that works for you, then, like, then great. That is totally fine. Like, they definitely went for, like, it's gonna be rad, and it just didn't work for me.
But it also, like, isn't rad. Like, I think on paper...
it looked cool.
I think on paper...
The dragon looked great.
I think on paper it reads as rad.
Sure.
I think that they probably had the script and were like, oh, this is going to be so cool. The gang gets together and they kill Ishamael on top of a tower together. Mm-hmm. And then when they filmed it, they were like, there's not really a lot of physical space up here, so there's not a lot we can do. So Rand just like, I don't know, go stab him. But that's literally what happens, right? Like, there's...
Yeah.
Why he dies from that stab is very confusing. Like, I don't know. Is the sword suddenly magic?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I do understand how it probably looked cool on paper, but
it is so underwhelming. We were sitting there being like,
well, and he just walks over so slowly and with no emotion. Like, if Rand had at least, like, picked up the sword and, like, been, like, so emotionally charged and he just ran him through, right? He ran him through so hard that without magic, the sword goes through him, the, like, Heron hits him, the hand hits him, and there's so much force in it that Ishamael is pushed back off the sword, back onto his back, and it's like an explosion of emotion.
Yeah.
Then you almost can, like, get away with the coolness of it.
Yeah.
But because it's just, he literally just slowly...
I know.
It's like watching someone, like, cut butter for their bread. And there's so little emotion in Rand in that moment for some reason. Mm-hmm. And I don't blame Joshua. I think it's I think it's like a choice where they wanted it to be this, like, we want it to, everything slows down. But because of that, it feels it's very weird to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, Elthis, the reason that it's different is because people don't know what a dragon is. like what a creature, like a dragon as a creature is. So I don't know why they would be excited about a weird flaming beast who shows up at a tower that was just fireballs were being hurled from at them, killing them. Because it doesn't mean anything to them.
It's also, I remember in book club being like, oh, it is so cool that they unravel the banner. And they have the word dragon is so distant from our idea of a dragon.
Of what a dragon is. I think that's such a cool idea.
It's like a world building thing where it's like, yeah, it's been 3,000 years and the only use of the word dragon. They've stopped talking about mythological dragons because everyone is so scared of the dragon. Mm-hmm. The dragon's claw is a claw, but no one knows why.
Yeah.
Like, they think that, like, did Luther and Telamon have fangs or claws? Like, that is, like, world building stuff that's so cool in the books that the show is like, no, it's a big fire dragon that looks like Rayquaza and Charizard had a baby.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that's a thing.
Sure, yeah. People are saying that Rand's sword started to glow. I guess I just missed that. Because it didn't seem like there was magic happening to me, because I think we're used to seeing the weaves, and I didn't see any, like, weaves.
And maybe Rand is weaving in that moment, and I just,
maybe we missed
ignored
that.
it, because I was like, what the fuck is happening?
They did do Nynaeve pretty dirty. She did not contribute at all.
Yeah.
She was there.
Which
sucks. I don't understand why Elaine is the one who healed Rand when Nynaeve is right there.
Jacob Hugel says, Rafe said season 1 was for Moraine and season 2 was for Egwene. That's definitely a way to do an ensemble show. Such a mistake to not focus on more main characters while at the same time focusing on Leandrin too much, along with Moraine's sis. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. In rewatching season 2, Moraine's sister is one of the best parts.
Moraine's sister.
Her narrative with her son.
Oh my god.
Is like is actually really good.
Great.
I will take that stuff because it is well written.
Yeah, definitely.
Straight up. Like, see,
I didn't think the herons burning his palms, I did not think that was Rand channeling. I thought that like Ishamael has like wards and like magic up and the sword literally heated up.
Well, but I think that's the thing, right? I think the fact that we don't know what's going on is the problem.
Yeah.
I think that Ishamael being the villain of 2 seasons and him dying to magic stuff happened on top of a tower.
Yeah.
And it's up to you. You figure it out. Is frustrating in a way that isn't frustrating in a book. Because you can be in the character's point of view as they are confused.
Yes.
But on screen, no, I'm not sitting there with Rand being like, I don't know what happened. That's crazy. Maybe I'll read it in a book one day. You know what I mean? Instead, you're just showing me stuff that you're like, you have to present information differently in a show, right? And the way that we do that is visually showing things. And I think that the visuals are confusing in the show in a way that actually like takes away from the moment instead of allowing it to be cool. If you want it to just be cool, have Rand, Elaine, Nynaeve, and Egwene just start fucking magicking the shit out of Ishamael and kill him. They all have the ability.
Have them discover
just do something weird.
Some forgotten weave or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that would have been rad. I don't know. Have them bond with, like, link with Rand for the first time. Like, accidentally link, and they're like, oh, we didn't know we could do that, because there's a man who can channel here, and that makes the link stronger. Having said that, that's an in-universe reason. As much as I don't love, oh God, I was about to compliment the show, but Lona Boy, I have to talk about this. Lona Wolf brings up, is he dead? He's not in the books. Lona Boy. Sorry, Lona Boy. They have finished Moradin's arc, weirdly, for me. And if they bring him back as Moradin to just do this again, I really don't get the point. It's a weird choice, for sure. Like, they just took end of the book's Moradin, made him Ishamael, because he's never crazy. Ishamael he's never... not that mad. He's totally rational and sane. Yeah. They've just taken the end of the series and put it here. And so... either they don't think they're going to get to finish the series, and so they're like, well, let's actually like show this element of Moradin because it is the most interesting thing about the character. Or we're just going to have like a redo. Yeah. I think what they're going to do is that they'll make Lanfear the end. Yeah, I think that they're going to make Lanfear more important because honestly, like, Moradin was like kind of interesting, kind of. But, like, I think, like, leaning into Lanfear being a complicated character, it seems like something the show would do. I also agree with Daniel in the chat that they didn't really do any book 3 stuff. So it being book 2 and 3, like, meshed into one, I don't really know where that comes from.
Matt got his memories back when he says...
Okay.
I remember. But what did you... But Matt, what did you remember?
But, like, this Matt doesn't exist anymore. This Matt is not in the show. And that's... You know what? If they do something interesting with him, I will forgive that. That is okay. I understand things get adapted and changed. But right now, it just is kind of like...
He's definitely the most changed. I think Nynaeve is the most kind of, like, wasted right now on the show.
Who? Sorry,
Nynaeve. I think because I don't think Matt is wasted because he's never done any Matt.
He hasn't done anything. Yeah. He hung out with Min and then showed up at the very end.
And Matt's best moments come later in the book series anyway.
Yeah.
But Nynaeve.
Arzu, hello.
Nynaeve does actually get some great moments in the first few books. In the first 3 books that are kind of gone now.
Even though we almost hated her. We were like, God, Nynaeve is the fucking worst. She still, like, contributed and did shit and was, like, interesting.
Blige Monkey says, do you think they're just not doing Matt's luck? Not yet. Maybe he gets lucky from the Aelfin.
But here's the thing. The only reason he's not a dad yet is that his pull-out game is so lucky. So he's going to be, like, he's going to have so many children by the end of the series.
Yeah, it's not like there's, like, much birth control in fucking Rainland.
Well, I guess there is.
There's, like, a T, I guess.
There's always a fantasy thing. Always a fantasy thing. I would actually love to... I would love to actually... If we can, like, pull up somehow that moment where he stabs him. Is that in our reaction? I want to see if I, like, missed the weaves.
Oh, we can just pull it up, yeah.
Yeah, is that look, hey, Dusty pulls up clips on his channel. We're gonna look at our own clip. And if it's not in ours, then, I don't know, we'll go to Amazon Prime or something. Because I'm like, did I fuck up? The fight in the sky? Agreed. How are people supposed to know what happened? It's like they pretended that it happened in the sky, which is why everybody's cheering. Because, like...
This video is so long. This video is... Our finale reaction
we talked about it
is
a lot.
2 hours long.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot.
And only 35 minutes of it is reacting.
Yeah.
I think it's around here.
Is that you? Here, you can, like... Oh!
Oh, yeah, he's channeling into the sword.
Okay. Yep.
I guess.
Yeah.
Why does he grab the blade of the sword?
Right. The blade? Oh, that is a great question. So
like,
he can get the herons
on the blade. Why does he grab...
So he can get the heron marks.
But it's a katana. There's room
it's
on
very
it for
sharp.
2 hands. It's not a single... It's not a short hilt.
Wait, no, here. No. Oh, there's Moraine destroying the ships.
Rafe couldn't have too much fantasy in his fantasy show. That's why we didn't get the sky fight. Yeah.
Which I don't get, like, because give me the fantasy in the fantasy show.
Auntie Angarov, I don't actually think that Ishii died in season 1. I think he's just released in season 1. We're so confused. This is so funny to watch because we're literally like... Yeah, he grabs the blade of his sword for some reason.
Yeah, that's a choice. That's a choice. Yeah, sure. Okay, we were totally wrong. He's definitely channeling 100%. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
I mean, like, no, I wanted to get into compliments. We're gonna get into some compliments. Okay, I think that...
Let's address if there's anything in chat here.
No, but we'll be addressing things all day long.
No, I know.
This is the problem. This is why everyone thinks that the live streams get too negative, is because we start addressing things.
And it feels like we're harping them.
And chat isn't like, address the best parts of the show. They're like, yeah, but this also didn't make sense. Haven't watched the show, but if Matt got his memories back from the horn, then they probably aren't going to Snake and Fox's him.
Probably.
I think that they still have to, though. Because otherwise, what do you do with... the middle of the whole thing.
What do you mean the middle of the whole thing?
Like, what do you do with like Moraine, Lanfear, Matt? Are you just gonna cut Moraine and Rand getting the answers that make them do the prophecies from the Snake and the Foxes make them do a bunch of stuff?
Here's the
do you just
thing.
cut all of that
Here's
and
the
they
thing.
like what?
Prophecy exists in the world as is already. It stands to reason they find some prophecies, or like they introduce Nicola and she gives them prophecies or something like that. I agree. I think like Snakes and Foxes might be cut for sure.
YouTuber Scholar Gladiatoria would say half swording, grabbing the blade with one hand is a valid medieval fighting technique. Rand has not been trained in valid sword fighting techniques in the show.
It's also not a medieval sword. It is a katana. I understand your point, but yeah, no. He's also not trained. It's fine. It's just so he can get the herons on his hand, and
that tower seemed
fine.
really high. I'm not sure anybody could actually see anything besides a few specks at the top.
Correct.
Yeah,
they see the dragon beast that may or may not kill them, and they're like, woohoo!
It cannot be that tall.
I guess.
Because Elaine gets Nynaeve, or Nynaeve gets Elaine up there. Really, in the same amount of time it takes Perrin to get up there. So, like, can't be that tall. Because Elaine has an arrow in her knee and is about to become a guard at fucking...
Whiterun in Skyrim.
Whiterun. But Nynaeve gets her ass up that fucking tower.
Yeah.
They hoof it.
They go fast. Gotta go fast.
Compliments. Madeline Madden delivers an incredible performance this season. I think she's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she had to be because Egwene's story in the book is really dark. But I think that she brings it in a way that I found really impressive. I in hindsight, wish that the Nynaeve fake out didn't exist because I think that it is a weird element of her season that actually, like, Nynaeve not dying. Egwene spending a whole episode of season 3
grieving
Nynaeve's not death.
No reason. It's a strange choice.
And then that never coming up for the rest of the season is so crazy.
I literally think it's so that Egwene and Elaine can become friends because they needed a reason for that.
They were already friends before Nynaeve fake dies.
Yes, they were.
But so, like, I think that Madeline Madden's post that episode, her performance is so good.
Yeah.
That she deserves all of her laurels for it. I think that it even more than Lanfear. I think that Lanfear carries the season because Lanfear gets the best writing of the season.
Yeah.
But I think Madeline Madden is the best performance of the season.
Okay.
And
yeah, she's fantastic.
She just is, right? And Renna, the actor who plays Renna, they are also absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
I think that they stepped into a really difficult part and they brought all of the right emotion to it.
Yeah.
And the two of them carried the toughest scenes of the show in a way that it felt like there was a lot of care and intention behind, and there was a lot of subtext in them. And I wish that same stuff, kind of like Rings of Power, where I wish the Durin and Elrond stuff, everything else was as good as that. Mm-hmm. I wish the rest of the show was as good as the Renna Egwene stuff. Because I do think it is the strongest part of the show up until their final scene together, which I don't like, but whatever.
Well, Exalted Clown says maybe Matt won't meet Tuon if the, Alphen stuff is cut, and I would be fine with that. That seems like a plus to me.
Yeah, but then are you adapting the Wheel of Time? Like there's a point where it's like, just write your own fantasy show. Like, if you're not going to do anything from the books, like if you're not going to get into the difference between the male and the female halves of the power in a really deep way and make that the focus of your world, what are you adapting? And this is a question we ask in those reactions where I'm like, what did they like about the Wheel of Time? Right? Like, what
did they like about the Wheel of Time?
Because if you asked me to adapt the Wheel of Time, I wouldn't do it, right? I would say, no, I will adapt something that I personally love the entirety of more, because I would want to go into the Wheel of Time and change things.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm going to fix the ending.
Right.
Which is on me. I know a lot of people love the epilogue, love the finale, love it. And that's why I would not be the person to adapt this.
And I think that somebody who loves that stuff should adapt it, because they will more lovingly adapt it. I don't think that you should hire someone to fix something. Which is different with, like, Percy Jackson right now, right? Like, I think that what Percy Jackson did with Medusa in terms of changing her from the books which I haven't read, but I know that I read about the change and why they did it.
Oh, okay.
I think that you can get away with that because Rick Riordan is there being like, I want to change this about my world because I think I got it wrong the first time, is very different than we want to come in and use the words The Wheel of Time to have a fantasy show that like kind of feels like The Wheel of Time sometimes.
Yeah.
But also is like, it also really doesn't.
Yeah.
And isn't adapting what is so interesting about The Wheel of Time, right?
I think it is the magic system is one of the most interesting parts of The Wheel of Time.
And the political system. I think that what's really missing for me from the show right now is that they fundamentally don't understand Deus Damar in a way that is interesting at all.
Sure.
Like, their version of Deus Damar is the one party Rand went to. And people are chatting at it. And it's just that people talk, I guess. Like, there's no politics or scheming in that episode.
Yeah.
Rand burning the letters doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
Rand burns the letters and they're like, oh, you're really good at this game. That doesn't come back. It isn't relevant to the rest of the season at all.
Yeah, the only thing I can think is that it will be relevant to people either working with or against Rand in the future with him as the dragon. But, like, I feel like that him burning the letters would be so inconsequential beside the fact of him being the Dragon Reborn.
And then the second thing for me is that Giotto is just so fundamentally like they missed what it is. And so you just kind of get this weird, like, they just beat the shit out of Avienda because she didn't save someone else in a fight. Like, that's not what Giotto is at all.
Yeah. Some positives, though. I think what they did with Leandrin's character and how that actress portrayed her was incredible. Like, Leandrin in the books really doesn't have a personality. Like, she's just kind of
I disagree with that. I really like book Leandrin.
Really?
I think she
just is bad. Like, after a certain point, she's just bad.
No, Leandrin, like, has this legitimate and, like,
and then she gets enslaved.
Hatred of men that I think is brought over to the show really well. I actually think Leandrin has been adapted very well.
Well,
with the added depth of her son, which I think is a good change.
But that's what I mean.
But I think both versions of Leandrin are great.
I think they really fleshed out Leandrin in the show, but and maybe I'm just remembering incorrectly because it has been 2 years, of reading all these books, but I don't remember anything really about Leandrin's personality in the books except that like she sucks.
Yeah, but her suckiness in the books is. The reveal of her being evil is handled better in the books. It's more surprising. And I remember it being a great moment. When they come out the other side in Falma, and the Sanjin are just there waiting for them, like, that was genuinely shocking. In a way that isn't when Leandrin's like, I'm taking you to be fucking evil.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I guess she's taking them to be fucking evil.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I agree.
So I think that, like, the adaptation of Leandrin, I think, is in both versions is quite good. I think Show Leandrin is a fascinating character, and I think an incredible performance by her name's Kate, right?
I'm bad with names. So.
I think she's great. Her and Kristen Chenoweth both like talk with their mouths closed, which I think is they both do the thing where they both talk like this. Mm-hmm. And they're both fantastic actresses, and I would take nothing from them, but they both do that little thing where they, like, purse their lips forward, and then they talk, like, through their lips like this. And I would love to have a scene where they're just both talking to each other, but it doesn't look like either of them are moving at all. And they're just like, yes.
Daniel's actually said that they just watched that part of the podcast, and we thought it was a weak reveal.
Wait, really? Can't even remember my own takes anymore. That's funny. I wonder why we thought it was a weak reveal. I need to go back and listen to my own shit.
I feel like we always thought Leandrin was evil.
Yeah, that might be it. It might just be that it was too obvious.
It's so tough to remember that far back.
It is just one of those things, though, where I don't know, like, I don't love where Leandrin's story ends, because it just kind of, like, fizzles out in...
Oh, she's a slave.
Well, and the main characters aren't the reason for it. Like, it just is sort of a thing that happens to her because the bad guys are incompetent in the background of the books.
Yeah.
And so Leandrin doesn't... Kate Fleetwood. Yeah.
Ah.
She's a Tony winner?
In what? What?
I want to know.
I want to hear her sing now.
I think she's fantastic. She might not have won a Tony for
It might be for a play. You're
right. Kate Fleetwood. God, those cheekbones are insane.
Yeah.
Oh, for Lady Macbeth.
Oh.
Which Macbeth was that? 2010.
Interesting.
Oh, I saw this.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Well, didn't recognize her, I guess.
That's so funny. Yeah, this is when I was in New York. Yeah, she's great. I didn't even know that was her.
There you go.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
There you go. She crushed it. Well done. Honestly, like.
Oh, Tony nominated. She didn't win.
Well, you know what? That's still great.
I know, but technically correct is the best kind of correct. So.
Fleetwood Macbeth.
Fleetwood Macbeth. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we should have come up with a structure for how today was going to work because we kind of didn't.
We just wanted to hang out with the community. I don't know.
In the book, she basically tortures Amelisa, so I don't know how you didn't know then.
I think we figured.
Oh,
that
that might have been it. Yeah.
I'm pretty. Look, I cannot remember a time when I was like, Leandrin might be an okay person. I just. It's hard to remember, but yeah, I think that Leandrin was pretty clearly not great.
I still hold though that I think the version of it in the book where the reveal happens to the girls on the other side is more interesting than what they did in the show.
Than her attacking them and dragging. Yeah.
What drives me fucking crazy is the show does this so much where they establish stuff and then they just ignore what they've established. Because we are shown that tunnel is a tunnel from the White Tower, from the middle of the White Tower to a street in the middle of Tarvalon. Mm-hmm. And so how the fuck did she, this woman alone, get these three girls to the Waygate? Where is the Waygate in Tarvalon, first of all? And how did she get them out of this tunnel to that Waygate in the middle of Tarvalon with nobody noticing?
Magic. Also, the horses.
Well, no, I don't give a shit about that. Because she's evil, so Machin Shin could just leave her alone because she's evil. Patton Fane is clearly able to get through the ways.
Work for the dark, the Machin Shin doesn't distinguish between.
But Patton Fane is getting through the ways somehow.
Yeah, because he can control Machin Shin with the dagger. No, he can't
at this point. No, not at this point. That's later.
Well, but in the books he can.
No, even in the books, Patton Fane is able to traverse the ways safely.
But he sets up Machin Shin at the Waygate in the middle of
Rural Fleur is right with me because the Waygate is way outside of town in Tarvalon.
Yes.
They've established this is the stuff that drives me crazy. They established where the Waygate for Tarvalon is in their show because we watched them have to ride horses to it to then leave the horses behind. Yes. They literally just rode horses to the Waygate. So we know that it's far enough away from Tarvalon that you have to ride horses to it, which implies that Leandrin gets those fucking unconscious women onto a horse and rides them through all of fucking Tarvalon.
Yeah. When they would have just gone with her. That's the funniest part of it.
And they would have. Elaine would have been like, I'd love an adventure.
Yeah.
but instead, they establish these things, and then they're like, don't fucking think about anything. She just gets them what?
Go to chat.
Oh, to chat? Shit.
We don't have it.
Did something happen? Arzu! 20!
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Arzu, thank you so much.
Arzu! Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That's 20 people who are going to be able to watch Dragonlance.
Hell yeah, we love that. Arzu, thank you so much.
Stephen W., thank you so much for Super Chat. Would you two be interested in an animated version that follows the books? Show is very disappointing for me so far.
We said that from the beginning.
I think it's the way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can actually make... Because there are things in the books that I'm like, how in the fucking world do you adapt this? So animated would make it possible.
The show didn't even explain how she got the three girls through the gates by herself either. The girls were knocked out. What was the point of knocking the girls out? It makes no sense. I don't know.
It was just a strange choice.
But the show has shown us how the world works. Mm-hmm. And then it just is like, well, don't worry about that because this had to be easier for Leandrin. And I think that like the problem for me in that is that when you start to tell your story with, well, it would be hard for us to explain how this happened because it doesn't make sense. So just assume, we want our audience to assume that it works because we can't put in the effort of making it work because like, how would you do that? And that's where you start to lose me as a show, is that I'm like, okay, well then why should I care about anything if you can just yada, yada, yada the plot?
Yeah. Deadsy, thank you so much for that super chat. The annoying part is they don't have any reason to not trust her in the show. In the books, they were idiots to follow her. True, yeah.
No, because in the book, I disagree with you. In the book, they establish that if an Aes Sedai says to do something, that you just fucking do it. And, like, the structure of the White Tower is such that if an Aes Sedai walks up to you and says, hey, we're going across the country, you go, yes, ma'am. Well, and also, you are more powerful in the power than me, so I'm going to listen to you.
And like, Rand being in danger is a strong motivation for at least Nynaeve and Egwene. Like, they were naive in the books, I think, to follow her, especially because Leandrin's been a shitty person like to them. So like that being aside, but I agree, in the show they could have easily just had them ride out with her, and it would have been completely acceptable. I would have been like, yeah, we know Leandrin sucks, but they don't. They have no idea.
And they don't have any reason to think any Aes Sedai sucks at this point in the books, right? Like, no Aes Sedai has ever actually done anything negative to them at this point.
Yeah, even Leandrin and Nynaeve have, like, a kind of relationship.
In the books?
No, in the show.
Oh, no, in the show. I thought it was a good fix. I was like, oh, they're making Leandrin and Nynaeve friends so that the betrayal is, like, worse. But then they didn't really do the betrayal because she's unconscious. And then Nynaeve wakes up in the fucking ways and doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's because she's fork-rooted, maybe?
Here's the thing, Deadsy. She definitely, like, sucks in the show. We just are given a reason to have sympathy for her. That's all. She's still, like, not a good person. There's just, like, a reason for it. Not that like, excuses it. So, a morally gray character is weird because some people feel like it's a character who does bad things, but, you know, they had a rough life, so it's fine. Like, I don't think that's, like, gray. I don't think that's what makes a character gray-ish. That like, gray morality is more, like, characters who are given shitty situations and try to make it work, but people get hurt and, like, they either don't have the knowledge or the awareness or whatever to, like, make the best decision.
Yeah.
Like, or, you know, sacrificing someone else to save another person, like those kinds of things. But I think that having a person do terrible things because some shitty stuff happened previously in their life, I don't think that that's, like, morally gray. I think that that's them choosing how that affects them in their life moving forward.
Yeah, but I think that she plays that perfectly, right? Like, and I think that that's the strength of Show Leandrin, is that Kate Fleetwood plays the duality of that.
Yeah.
She believes she needs to do this, and also it is very much the wrong thing to do. Mm-hmm. And Leandrin kind of knows, but doesn't fucking give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the danger about love, right? Like, Leandrin is really a narrative about how dangerous people who love somebody else can be, because they will do anything for them. Yeah. And then, like, much like everything else that's kind of interesting about the show, that stuff is just not present in episodes 7 and 8. Because that is like 4, 5, and 6, like that, where the show is really good in season 2. It has stories like that. It has themes like that of, like, what are the dangers of someone who loves so fiercely.
And then Lanfear comes in and it's like, meh, fuck it, you're free. Like, you're like, oh my god, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Leandrin killing her son is so fucking good.
Lanfear
killing Leandrin's son.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. Because it is such a, like, it is such a chaotic way for Lanfear to undermine fucking Ishamael. Mm-hmm. Which, you know, like, it's where you start to realize that she's just fucking with Ishamael, which I think is so funny. Like her whole Lanfear's entire season 2 arc is just to like make Ishamael's job harder, which I think is like the funniest, most petty thing you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Is just to be like, oh, yeah, I brought them early. And he's like, I'm not ready. And she's like, I'm sorry, they're already here. Get fucked, Ishamael. Like, it's hilarious. And I love it so much. The whole scene where he's like, what do you mean they're here? And she's like, yeah, sorry, dude. I brought them.
Darn.
I thought I thought you wanted everybody here. And he's like, yeah, not yet. And she's like, well, you should have given me dates. I don't understand.
Timeline, please.
I've been locked away for 3,000 years. I don't understand the calendar system of this time period. How am I supposed to know it's Tuesday? She's just like,
it's fine. She's only been awake for months.
She's perfect.
Yeah.
I love Lanfear.
Honestly, fantastic. And them introducing...
Our Team Lanfear shirts aren't here yet, and I wanted to wear it for the stream, but our Team Lanfear... Zombaby did such a good job designing that fucking shirt.
Yeah. Y'all, you want a Team Lanfear shirt? It's on the merch store.
Yeah.
Truly, I'm so happy with the design. I wish we had them here.
Siu Cap I'm so sorry.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
When I walked out of my cell through the prison gate to freedom, I understood that if I couldn't leave the pain and resentment behind, I would still be in prison. That's fucking poetic as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shavir says...
Blue has their shirt, and we don't have ours yet.
Shavir says, I checked your team's calendar, and I saw no appointments, so I just went with it.
You should have put it in Slack, okay, Ishamael? You gotta keep the Slack up to date.
Did you put that in Google Calendar or
Apple Calendar? Oh, see, you got an iPhone and I got an Android, so we were just different.
Ishamael, if you write it on a physical calendar on the wall of your room, I can't see it. You have to put it.
Well, I can see it if I check it in Teleranriad, but like, why would I do that?
Well, no, because if she goes to Teleranriad, the dry erase is just like coming and going. It's like wiping away.
It's too impermanent.
Yeah.
Right.
That dry erase is the save against being spied upon in Teleranriad, because dry erase is too impermanent to be spied upon.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's how they kept secrets in the Age of Legends, was just dry erase markers.
Yep. What's up, John? Hi, Blind Seer. How you doing?
Yeah.
We're talking some Wheel of Time.
We're talking what? Talking
about what?
I'm really excited for season 3, weirdly.
Okay.
I don't care about this show anymore.
Like it doesn't need to be the Wheel of Time for you anymore?
I don't give a shit.
Just a fun fantasy show.
At all. And so I'm at the point now where season 3 can do whatever the fuck it wants. And I'm kind of on the ride now. I like the actors enough. I think the visuals are fine enough. And so I'm just at a point where I'm like...
They're mostly good.
Spoiler level for the stream chat is full spoilers.
Full
Not full book. Full show spoilers.
Full book spoilers at the end.
Yeah, we're going to do full book spoilers at the end. Right now we're just talking full series spoilers for the show. But yeah, I'm kind of at a point where I don't really give a shit. I don't think the show could come back in 2026, and I will watch it when it comes. Not waiting. I'm more interested in what Rings of Power Season 2 is going to do, because I think that show has the potential... No, here's the difference.
No.
Wheel of Time has had 2 seasons right now, and I unlike you, I'm willing to give a show a bad first season, right? Parks and Rec, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, has a terrible first season. I think that a lot of shows have bad first seasons, right?
Look, Wheel of Time Season 1 brought me joy, and Rings of Power Season 1 did not. Did not spark joy.
But if they learn the lessons from Rings of Power Season 1, and Season 2 Rings of Power crushes it, I'm willing to give them... They made something in a bubble, they put it out in the world, they got feedback, and if Season 2 is significantly better than Season 1, I think that there's room for Rings of Power to do something really great, right?
Maybe.
Wheel of Time did Season 1.
Uh-huh.
Took all of that information and then came back and did what I think is a less good season of television.
Season 2 almost right afterwards. Like COVID happened.
But I'm not talking about feedback from the audience. I mean like the feedback of working together and like building something together. Going into the editing booth, seeing what it looks like edited together, because you don't know what something's going to... Nobody knows what the edit is going to look like until it's edited.
Okay.
I think that they got together, they made a season of a television show, they edited it, they talked about it, they went back to the writer's room, they wrote season 2, they did season 2. Mm-hmm. You have now shown me 2 seasons with a break in between of what you're going to do with your show. For me, that is enough for me to say, like, I don't think this is great. I'm going to continue to watch it because it's kind of my job, but also because, like, I'm, like, morbidly curious about what happens. But with Rings of Power, they've done 1 season. They walked away from that season. They edited it. They looked at it. They went, okay, this is what we did. Maybe these are the mistakes that we made. Maybe not. I don't know. If they come back with season 2 and they address some of the pacing problems and they kind of give Galadriel, like, a real, like, life to her, there's ways that season 2 of Rings of Power could be such a step forward that the rest of that series is great. That they learned their lessons from season 1. They got new showrunners, right? I think that it's a different team making it, maybe. Now,
really?
I might be wrong about that.
I haven't heard anything about that. So.
I do believe that Rings of Power has potential to course correct in a way that I don't think Wheel of Time does anymore. They're on a course. The problem with Wheel of Time, honestly, moving forward, is they've changed so much fundamentally about the show from the books that they can't just go back to the books now. They have to keep writing new shit.
Yeah.
And I don't think the new shit is very good. And so if for Wheel of Time, like, Rings of Power has to do new shit because there's no story there for them to write, right? Wheel of Time can't do what the books are going to do moving forward because they've already changed it so fundamentally that I'm just kind of like, okay, let's see what they fucking make up, I guess. But Rings of Power could, I feel like they could course correct in season 2, and I could really like it.
And that's so interesting because I feel like Rings of Power shit the bed with the storyline more than Wheel of Time did. Like, Wheel of Time is still salvageable in the sense of, like, not it being the Wheel of Time books, but it was never going to be the Wheel of Time books. Like, do I think that they've made less interesting choices? Yeah. But, like, the world is still interesting to me. There's still stuff there, and, like, the actors are all fantastic.
Ibrahim, thank you for those super chats.
No, memberships.
Memberships.
Thank you for the gifted memberships.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim. That's so kind of you.
So many people are going to be able to watch our Dragonlance campaign live. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I just think that...
Okay, but say Rings of Power Season 2 comes out, right?
Uh-huh.
And
they're like, oh, yeah.
The show generally...
Galadriel's husband.
The show generally feels like the Elrond and Durin relationship did. If they take what was so successful about those scenes and they just kind of expand that to the whole show... And we're sitting there going, you know what? It's not the Lord of the Rings story, but this show really works. I will be happy with that. If they take this, because there's stuff about, the highs of Rings of Power are higher than any high in Wheel of Time for me. The Elrond Durin scenes are better relationship writing and Disa, the three of them are a better television dynamic than any dynamic in the Wheel of Time to me.
Okay.
I would take the Elrond Durin stuff over any individual moments of the Wheel of Time TV show.
Sure, but the lows I think are much lower. Like the frickin' Gandalf shit.
Sure,
like,
but I think season 2 has the potential to go, hey, we crushed this. Let's figure out what worked about this. Let's get in the room.
Maybe.
And let's expand that to the whole show. I think that is so possible. Granted, it could also be worse. I'm not saying it's going to be better.
Yeah, no,
I'm just saying
I get that.
Rings of Power has the potential to learn from its mistakes in a way that I think Wheel of Time has doubled down on.
Yeah, see, I just think like if I were to only be able to pick one, I would watch Wheel of Time season 3 over Rings of Power season 2. Just personally, brought me more joy. There's things it's like Rings of Power just made me angry. Yes, the Disa Durin Elrond stuff is great, but it's kind of like the side quest of the show.
And Bryce makes up a great point. They're great, but that storyline did end up going nuts with the Mithril being needed to save the elves from a falling leaf.
Yes!
Look, I'm not saying it's all great. I'm not saying it's all great.
Like, and that's what I mean. Just because that one relationship trio is good, the Harfoots are like, we never walk alone, except fuck you, you're gonna die here alone.
We're gonna take your fucking wheels, bitch.
Yeah.
You wanna die, you wanna freeze to death on this mountain? We're the fucking Harfoots. We never walk alone unless we fucking murder you. You walk alone when we fucking say so, you dumb little child. Hey, are you 15 years old? fuck you, we're taking your wheels and you're fucking dead.
Go fucking cry about it. Yeah, no, they, like, yeah. I didn't mean for this to be a Rings of Power rant, but yeah, the Harfoots were absolutely psychotic. Like, I don't know who the fuck came up with that shit.
And the best, I don't remember his name, the elderly, Black Harfoot. He's one of the best actors on it. His performance,
the, like, mayor person kind of.
His performance makes the Harfoots work for me almost.
Yes.
Just because he's
single-handedly, and that's it.
I would love to see him star in anything because I think he is genuinely one of the most charismatic. Like, he should have been the lead of the Harfoot stuff, honestly. Sorry, Nori and Dory or whatever the fuck your names were. But even in those scenes, he is playing, what the fuck is wrong with these people? In a way that is almost a comedy. Like, it is almost hilarious.
Lenny Henry.
He is so, like...
delightful. Incredible.
He plays
wonderful.
That character in a way that... I'm like, oh yeah, I would migrate with you. Like, if you asked me to go on a journey where we walked across the country...
Seems like fun.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Sir Lenny Henry.
Sir Lenny Henry. Oh, well.
My bad.
Well, if he asked, I would have to go because he's a fucking lord. I think he's brilliant, and it is so funny. Like, both of these shows. That's the tough thing about Prime, right? Is they get these actors, and I just wish that they were getting the writers.
Yes.
It feels like it feels like. This is going to sound mean, and I'm sorry that this sounds mean, but it feels like they're taking writers who are on their first or second show, who are still up and coming.
Rings of Power people.
There's their first show they've ever shown on.
First big project, yeah.
They're taking people who are like relatively young and like up and coming writers and pairing them with veteran, experienced actors with some of the most beloved IP in the world. And so it's both of these shows. And Halo, right? Halo's in the same boat.
The worst
these all
show I think I might have ever watched.
These all feel like they're being dragged across the finish line by incredible performances.
Yeah.
But those performances are anchored by writing that is like amateurish a lot of the time.
Blue, I think Reacher and The Expanse just, stole all the good writers.
Well, but it's because all the good writers are writing their own stuff.
Fair? Yeah, that is totally
really talented writers. Like, I don't want to adapt stuff. I'm going to write Bear. I'm going to make Succession. I'm going to do Severance on Apple.
Sure.
All the good writers are on Apple making some of the best television ever.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently we're missing out on some great stuff.
Apple TV Plus is like putting out banger after banger after banger, and Prime is like, we have the best actors, but like, we're not doing anything with them. Whenever
people bring up Reacher, I keep thinking Preacher, which is different show. But that one was a ride.
Blindseer says, wow, couldn't disagree more on Rings of Power. You seem to carry the consensus opinion, though. A lot of geeks don't like it for various reasons. I've had some deep arguments on the subject. Well, and I'm glad you love it. I'm not saying that it's impossible to love these things. I'm not saying that my opinion is right. I'm only saying that it's my opinion.
And also, like, Blindseer, our community on YouTube has already seen all of our reactions to it, and so the people that are here to talk about
how we feel about it.
We are on the same page about it. There are people who love Rings of Power.
Rural Fleur brings up the Dragon Prince. That's an animated show, right? Rural Fleur?
I actually don't know.
I think I see that on Netflix. I think it's an animated show.
Somebody brought up as well the Mogadeen reveal, the end of Wheel of Time Season 2. Great.
Sick.
That was well done.
I don't understand how her powers work, but...
No idea. She's fascinating. I also hope that they make her a little more of a threat than the books. Like,
What do you mean? She makes it all the way to the end.
She crawls to the finish line with her soul in someone else's hands.
Mogadeen has moments. That's true. She does. She definitely. Sure. Yeah, she definitely is kind of.
Yeah, Mogadeen is.
Jaren,
she's around.
We're gonna do Blue Eye Samurai reactions in February once we finish One Piece.
Yes. We're trying to not react to everything all at the same time, everything everywhere all at once. And so
we're tired.
Spacing it out.
I think that my autism, this is going to sound wild, but I think that my being autistic and reacting to so much stuff, I have kind of started to just I'm not really reacting anymore. I'm just trying to fix everything. because we're watching so much that my brain doesn't have time to enjoy anything. I'm literally just sitting there trying to figure out how the story could be better. And I don't think that that is good reaction content. And I think that like our reactions have kind of gone downhill for the audience a little bit, even though they have become more interesting for me. Because I love to just sit and talk about how stories could be more interesting or deeper or more, which is why, you know, there's 800 hours of book club. We're going to react a little bit less so that I can like watch other things and not feel like I have. Is that fair?
Yeah. I
think the comments have made it pretty clear that I've become a bit of a slog, and I want to fix that and not be as much of a detriment on the community as
and the thing is, like,
I am right now.
We find that conversation interesting, and some of you do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are a lot of people who are like, no, I love seeing how you think about things and catching things that I may have missed or what your brain like gravitates to, and we find that conversation interesting. But yeah, people seem to be upset that we are trying to have a conversation about something instead of just reacting to it.
Yeah.
You need a Nerdy Does writer's commentary. That's what we should do. We should react to a show, and then at the end, we should have a video that is a separate discussion of the pieces that we liked and didn't like and how it could fit together differently.
Well, and like but it's so weird, right? Because even like the Percy Jackson episode 3 reaction.
Well, and the Ron Cross, like, I love the critical stuff, and we love that too. Like I just think that like the average person is watching it being like, oh, well, they're picking it apart, so that is inherently negative, so they hate it, and it just is a spiral.
Well, and what's interesting, so going to the Percy Jackson 3 reaction, that just came out, I was like, oh, I really like this episode. I just think that, like, the setup of this world doesn't work for me. And then we talked about the world building separate from my criticism of the episode, which was the episode's very good. I thought episode 3 of Percy Jackson was a huge step forward in terms of the quality of that series. I like it a lot more than the first two. But then I was talking about how, like, I don't think the show is set up the best. And someone commented really interestingly where intrinsical, I feel like sometimes you guys drift from critiquing to criticism. I mean, I love it, but I understand some folks may not like that. I really don't know what that means. Critiquing and criticism are the same thing. I love the critic, but now I expect from you guys maybe other people come with more average rat content expectations. That's fair. I'm not really interested in just oohing and eyeing. Like, I want to talk about story and why some things work for me and why they don't. And also knowing that, like, my brain works differently than other people's and I have a different perspective, right? Like, plot matters to me. The function of your world matters so much to me. And I think that a lot of modern streaming shows sacrifice function of their world to get through stuff faster. And it's one of the things about Percy Jackson that I find interesting is someone commented like, hey, like, you don't like that Percy's only here for like 48 hours in the show, but he isn't in the books. Like, in the books, he's just there longer. And I was like, oh, well, so the books are doing the version that I think is the better version of this same story. I'm talking about how in Percy Jackson, he's in Camp Half-Blood for weeks. Mm-hmm. Like, his mom dies, and then he's there for weeks, and he has time to, like, process, and he has time to work through it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, so the books are doing... It is the translation to streaming, particularly streaming, where everything now has to be 8 episodes, where almost all of the criticisms that I have for Percy Jackson apparently are just not in the books, because they're just... Why is he there for such a short amount of time? Why are Chiron and Dionysus sending him on this mission? Why do they think that Percy did it? Well, because of the books just have answers to those questions already at this point, right? Percy isn't attacked by random kids at Capture the Flag. Capture the Flag is explained to Percy the day before it happens in the books. Like, there's just simple things that I thought were so weird about the world building of the show that the books just do, and it is people feel like I'm critiquing Percy Jackson, and they love Percy Jackson so much. And what I think I'm critiquing is the streaming model doesn't work, and the way we are telling stories right now within streaming isn't great. It is consistently not good for Marvel shows. The pacing of Netflix television is bad. the pacing of prime television shows is not great.
Yeah.
And
I just want to interrupt. A lot of people are saying that criticism is negative.
That's not true.
Like, I want to read you the Google definition: the analysis and judgment of the merits and faults of a literary or artistic work.
Daniel mentioned critique is neutral, criticism is negative. No, they're the exact same.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people believe that criticism means negative, but it does not. That is the Google definition of the word criticism, includes merits and faults, and I think that is just something that people. Yeah, the disapproval of someone or something based on perceived mistakes, meaning he received a lot of criticism. That is the example that is given underneath that definition. The second definition is literally the judgment of merits and faults. So it is not only negative. It is not inherently negative. That is something that society perceives it as that is untrue.
It's sort of like how people use literally to mean figuratively.
Sure.
It's the second definition.
Yeah.
But the first definition is that criticism is criticism, and positive criticism is still criticism because you're criticizing something. You're going through the act of criticizing it.
Yes.
Which involves you critiquing and criticizing, and like. But like I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm as overly negative on things that are not Attack on Titan. I'm very negative on Attack on Titan, and that's fair. We stopped watching it. You guys can stop commenting on it. Seriously, please, just don't watch those videos.
Stop watching it.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just take them down.
Maybe.
We get nothing out of them being up except comments about how much I didn't like it, and like that's fair. I didn't, but
yeah, because people still come in and are like, "When are you finishing it?"
The problem is we still make money off of them, so it's just like free money to just have them there. But
yeah, I guess I just like I don't know. Yeah.
I feel weirdly like people are so hung up on the fact that I criticized that I had negative criticism about the world building of Percy Jackson at the end of that review, that they're missing the fact that I really liked the episode, and like I really like Annabeth.
Yeah, it's tough to balance, and I think that a lot of people that are in our community and that are here now, like we're very much on the same page about things. Like we can understand the analyzing things doesn't necessarily mean like hating them and that kind of stuff. There are a lot of people out there who don't. They want to see you watch a thing that they like and like it with them and feel validation from that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That is a completely like valid form of content. You want to watch something with people who also want to watch something and you feel happy watching it together. Like that's wonderful.
But I also think the online community. Oh, AMV fan, thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you so much.
I think these streaming shows need to be 13 episodes, the way they have a little bit more time to breathe. It's almost like Netflix figured this out 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like Daredevil Season 1 fucking figured out how to do this a decade ago. No, it's Restream Chat. Here, I got it.
Sorry.
It's a different app.
Oh, it's a different app. I'm sorry.
It's this right
it's
here.
It's that. Okay, I was trying to pull up both.
It's almost like Netflix went, hey, if we give them 13 episodes, we can do the show the way the people want us to do the show. And then
Blue, I like your idea.
And then everyone else just, I don't know, fucking forgot that's how television was made for streaming and worked. And so they all just went to this model that doesn't seem to work for nobody is happy with 8 episodes. Nothing is good at 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Some auteur stuff where they're like, I wanted these 6 episodes. It's a fucking whatever. That's like fucking White Lotus can be 6 episodes if that is the exact amount of time they want to tell the story. But everything else seems to be like, well, you have 8. Why? Who gives a fuck?
And here's the thing as well. You don't necessarily need a fuck ton of episodes either. We just started watching Good Omens Season 1. That's only 6 episodes. And I think it uses those 6 episodes wonderfully. I have seen it, you have not, and that is A-okay. Like, a show's length should be determined by how you can successfully tell the story, not what math they put through an AI generator of what people can watch without getting distracted or how much they can remember or blah, 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 blah. Tell the story that you wanna tell.
Me Monk says it worked for Gen V, but it's rare. Yes, but I don't think that season 1 of The Boys is as strong as the later seasons. Gen V worked at 8 episodes because they figured it out. That's the 4th season of that team doing this, right?
Yeah.
And they're not adapting a novel, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that it gets into, like, I think the issue that we're having right now is that Arzu says money is all that matters, right? But for the streamers, does it? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, there is no profit model for any of this shit. So why did they land on 8 episodes?
They're not making money regardless.
They're losing money on 8 episodes.
They're trying to get ads. Here's the thing. They're going to start doing more episodes so they can fit more ads into them. So we're going to swing back to the 24-episode seasons.
Which would be great. I miss 24-episode shows. Mm-hmm. I want 24-episode sitcoms again. They're so fun, and they're lighthearted, and there's something I can have on. And, like, these fucking streamers don't understand why people watch television. Mm-hmm. And it drives me fucking crazy. Netflix is sitting there watching fucking Suits get watched for 580 million hours this year.
Yeah.
Because there's 9 seasons of it, and they're all 20 episodes, and people just want to sit there and have characters that they love on screen that they can binge and love and just, like, be with. People want to bring characters into their homes because people are lonely and they want friends. That's why television is popular. When you do not give them time to spend with those people, to form parasocial relationships with those television characters, you're not making as much money. It's not that fucking hard to understand. It really isn't. Television worked forever because people wanted to have those people in their home every week. And then they wanted to rewatch and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch because it brought them joy and made them feel comforted and, like, satisfied that, like, oh my God, every single Thursday night, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is going to be in my house for 22 weeks of the year. And then I'm going to go to my VHS collection and I'm going to watch Buffy on VHS. And then the DVDs are going to come out, and, well, they're better than the VHSs and they look better. So I'm going to go buy the DVDs as well because I want to have another physical copy. And so I'm going to watch that on DVD over and over and over again because I love being with the Scooby Gang, and I will rewatch those episodes. I don't want to rewatch Stranger Things. I don't. It's too much.
True.
There's no hangout time in modern television. There's no just, like, oh, the characters are in the library, like, shooting the shit while they figure out the mystery time.
Yeah.
Everything has to be ba 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 ba. And so people aren't just, like, living in the worlds of TV anymore. And so you're not going to make any money off of ads because people aren't going to watch the show 19 times the way that I've seen Buffy once a year, every year since I was fucking 7 years old.
Yeah.
And
100%.
All of these shows have become extended movies that aren't movies, and so they're paced poorly, and they don't fucking work. And all I want is for the Wheel of Time to be 20 episodes, and to spend 3 fucking episodes with Rand and Perrin playing dice in Abu Dar.
Or to have an episode,
I love the characters.
Or to have an episode where Rand falls into the garden and talks with Elaine.
Yes, something as simple as that. Yeah. And you don't spend, and the episode isn't $50 million because there's no CGI. Yeah. It's just 20 minutes of a really cool scene in a throne room that is a little expensive because of costumes, but it's not a $20 million episode. You save money for future episodes, but you give us this fucking 20-minute scene where Rand meets a queen, and we just get to vibe with that.
Yeah.
That is television.
This little farmer boy who hasn't seen anything so grand in his life is suddenly in the throne room of probably the wealthiest country in Randland. Like, I guess Sanchin is separate. I would say Sanchin probably has the same similar amount of grandeur, but, like, that'd be so cool. I would love that. I would love to see that because you could also do a really interesting, like, some interesting character work with Gawain and Galad as well at the same time. Like, I think that, like, those are the moments, like you said, that we're missing because we're just trying to cram as much as we can in there. Yeah. And there are holes and there are missing pieces, and it's unfortunate. I do want to address Sir Jim earlier in the chat did come in and say they hadn't watched the show yet and asked if it was worth it. And I think it's worth it for Lanfear. For yeah.
No, I think there's other actors. I think there's good stuff, right? Like
there is good shit in there. There's amazing performances. Lanfear is fantastic, and some of the stuff that they do in the episodes like 5 and 6, I think are really well handled and brilliant. I wouldn't rush to go watch it. I think it's worth it. I do. I enjoyed parts of it, but you know it is not the Wheel of Time, and it won't be the Wheel of Time, and I think that trying to do the Wheel of Time was an impossible task.
But here's what's interesting, right? Nerdy becomes a suit and becomes CEO of one of the streaming companies. You have my vote. Part of the streaming company problem is turnover. Mm-hmm. If you told me that I was going to get an episode every week of my show in 2 sections in the fall and winter, for 20 episodes. There were 20 weeks of the year. I will sign up for those 20 weeks for my show.
Yeah.
If you tell me that I can watch the entirety of the Wheel of Time in a weekend, I will take your free trial on a new email address every 6 months.
Yeah.
And I will sign up and I will watch another. And people do that. If you want to make money in this model, you have to get people to want to be there for months and months and months and months and months and months.
I watched so much Criminal Minds. So much Criminal Minds. Even though we find the serial killer every week, because the characters were fucking rad, and I loved them and seeing how they solved the things.
Yeah.
Not like, some of the storylines were also incredibly interesting, but a lot of times it was, these people are cool and I want to see how they do the dang thing, and that is, the Criminal Minds was so many episodes.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Loved it.
I don't buy that 10 years ago Game of Thrones was able to do 10 episode seasons. And now we just can't anymore. That we have fundamentally lost out on why that show... But if you want Wheel of Time to be Game of Thrones, why would you not at least let it try to be Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Because those seasons were 10, right? It was only 8 at the end? They were all 10.
Yeah.
Why not let it try and be Game of Thrones? At the beginning, at least.
Yeah.
Why cut back? You're like, we want you to be this thing, but we want you to be less.
Yeah.
Why? You keep cutting back and then wondering why people keep leaving. And it's like, because you keep cutting back.
Yeah. I think that they're worried that, people don't have the attention span nowadays, but, I don't actually think that that's true.
But 500 million hours of Suits was watched this year.
Yeah.
It's a 10-year-old show.
Yeah. Look, I'm saying they're wrong. And thank you for that super chat. I haven't watched season 2 of The Wheel of Time because the last 2 episodes of the first season kind of destroyed my enjoyment of the entire show. Which I think is fair. They are the weakest.
Yeah.
The finale is really not.
And if
good.
you don't like episode 7, episode 7 is some of the best of that season. And
Episode
I think
7 is good shit. So yeah, if you don't like
that, you're not gonna.
Yeah. I think it's worth watching just for Lanfear, but I understand if that kind of killed it for you,
I'm frustrated because
Yeah, but season 8 was the worst season. Why?
House of the Dragon has 10 episodes, and guess what?
It's great.
It's fucking awesome.
It's great. I love it.
See, and then 8 was 6. Yeah, I'm not talking about the end. I'm talking about the beginning of the show. Season 1 was 10 fucking episodes.
I'm pretty
and
sure
you know
it
what?
was 10.
It rocked. No, I know it was 10 because for the first few seasons it was episode 9 was the crazy episode.
Oh yeah, and
every episode 9. Yeah.
9. No, you're right. Yeah, episode 9's dropping. What the fuck's gonna happen tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Right? And so just fucking but we keep crunching. We keep compressing stories down to fit. But it's so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a fundamental misunderstanding of what television is. And the whole point of television is to get people for a long time. And none of these streamers are trying to get people for a long time. They're just trying to pump out more. I was just looking at the top 10 list of Netflix this year. I've never heard of half of the TV shows.
That's true, yeah.
I don't know who Ginny and Georgia are, but 2 seasons of Ginny and Georgia are in the top 10 on Netflix. I've never heard of it before. The idea in my childhood that there would be a top 10 television series on any network that I have not seen a billion ads for is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Ginny and Georgia is. I don't.
I have no idea.
And
no fucking clue.
It's getting to the point where these streamers are making so much television that nobody is watching, and then complaining that they're losing money, but they won't just spend money on the stuff that people are watching. They won't promote the stuff that people are already giving them money for. It's wild.
Yeah.
And the shows are more expensive, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
The economics of it are so insane. And then they don't put out physical copies, so they're not double dipping on the physical side. It took fucking Mandalorian 5 years to get a DVD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know. It's crazy. Shadow and Bone nailed it for Netflix on views this year, but they canceled it. It makes no sense.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't think it was that great.
No, but it got viewed. Season 2 got views.
And that's the thing. If it gets views, why would you cancel it? Regardless of whether or not I think it's good. If people are watching it, Why?
Yeah.
Why? Question. Why?
Jay Abbott says Into the Badlands is an example of what I want from Wheel of Time. I haven't actually watched the show, but I have seen some of the action sequences, and they are pretty incredible.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would watch that show for sure. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's almost like anime has already solved all this, and kept the recipe the same for 40 plus years. There's 1,000 episodes of One Piece, and everybody still loves it.
Yeah.
It's almost like people want to be with the same characters forever. I miss bad CW shows like The Flash and The 100. 100%.
Oh, fuck no.
Because look, is The Flash amazing? No. But did I love watching all of it because those characters were my friends in a way? Yeah. That's what television is.
So
That's why television is popular.
I did not like The 100 personally, but that is a me thing.
Because you didn't get to where it gets good, but
yeah.
you didn't get to the lesbians. Once 100.
Is that in season 1?
No, it's in season.
Yeah.
The end of season 2, I think.
Right.
Once the 100 got gay, it got really good.
I love that for them.
Pre-gay 100 is fine. The Finchy Film says that is the problem, is that viewers is not the big driving point for renewals or cancellations. It's really up to how many subscribers it brings in. But the problem with that, Finchy, and I told you, you're right. You're 100% correct. The problem from the CEO's perspective is that the subscribers leave because the show ends. And if the show just didn't end, the subscribers don't leave. Like, it's what CBS knew for fucking ever. It's why fucking there's 4 NCISs. It's why there's 12 Law and Orders. Like,
How many CSIs were there?
Oh my god, the fact that there isn't a fucking, like, Stranger Things Hawken PD fucking spin-off when Stranger Things is not on the air, where it's just the cops and Hawkins hanging out occasionally fighting a demon dog, is insane to me. It's all there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me Monk is right. It takes forever for seasons to come out. Now, why is everything 2 years apart?
That's true.
When was the first season of Severance? And Severance season 2 might come out in 2024? What are you talking about? This is television. Just make fucking TV. All you have to do is make television.
I think that that actually is a lot more impactful than people realize, is the time in between shows, because you fucking forget about it. You forget about, you're like, oh yeah, I did watch that and I liked it, but I don't have the time right now. As opposed to if it was a year ago.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yes, I remember that. That was so good. Like, after 2 or 3 years, you're like,
Wheel of Time.
that happened.
We were talking about how because they cast Min older than Rand, Min is going to be like 56 in the final season of Wheel of Time. If they do 8 seasons and there is 2 years between each season, the actress playing Min is going to be 56 years old at the end of an 8-season show that she started in her late 30s.
I know. That one is going to be weird. She's going to be like mommy to them all in a way that's kind of weird. Like, I love the actress, don't get me wrong, but I'm just kind of like, that's a choice. You better get filming, because, yeah.
Everyone loves how young the actors in Percy Jackson are. They are going to be 25 in season 3.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Trey Dobbs, yeah, we can see this chat. The actors in Percy Jackson only look young in season 1, but they're not going to be, because they haven't fucking done season 2 yet, and they're 12. They're going to be 5 inches taller in season 2, and they're going to be 6'3" in season 3.
We just talked about this with Avatar, The Last Airbender.
The kid playing Aang, he's going to be 40.
He's like by the time
he's gonna be playing Uncle Iroh in season 5 of that show.
Yeah, because like that show filmed 2 years ago now, probably.
Yeah, and they haven't greenlit season 2 yet.
They haven't greenlit season 2.
Yeah.
Season 1 hasn't even dropped yet. Aang is going to be like 5 years old. Like, it's
well,
going
and
to
apparently
be so
he's already
weird.
like 8 inches taller.
Yeah, and his voice is gonna drop.
Yeah.
Like, at least with Harry Potter, they came out like within a year or two. You know what I mean? Like so the voice drop, like we watched them grow up. It was like a gradual thing with them. But having a jump, especially because there's not like huge time jumps, having a crazy jump from like season 1 to season 2, like it's going to be so jarring. There are certain people that are going to have to get recast. They're not kids anymore.
Well, yeah. Like Percy Jackson filmed over a year ago.
Over a year? Fuck.
Well, yeah, they filmed pre-pandemic or pre-strike. Like they were.
Yeah, I guess
like
so.
Percy Jackson filmed over a year ago, and they haven't as far as I know, they haven't greenlit season 2.
I don't know.
So,
yeah, no idea.
Like I think that a lot of the reason why people don't like my reactions comes from me not liking the streaming model.
Yeah.
And me being frustrated about what it is forcing creatives to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
because we haven't had a lot of movie reactions that we don't love, unless the movies are like
everybody loves
bad,
our
bad,
movie reaction.
bad.
No, but even then, people love the reactions.
Right, because we're like, what the fuck?
And our anime stuff, where I'm like, there's no like Full Metal Alchemist. The plot in the second half of the series just completely falls apart for me.
Yeah.
And like, if it doesn't for you, that's great. If you vibe with the characters and you don't care about the plot, that's also great. For me, I want to hang out with those characters, which is why television works. I'll rewatch Full Metal Alchemist Brother at some point, but I don't love the show. I don't think it's amazing. Attack on Titan, I don't like what it does. Fine. Every other movie and anime we've watched, I'm very hot on. I think One Piece is a fucking masterpiece.
Yep.
I think Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
I think
we really love Chainsaw Man.
Is maybe not a masterpiece yet, but it could be one day.
We loved a lot about it. The
it's really just that streaming television is driving me up the fucking wall.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what a lot of my reactions are coming down to, is me just sitting here being like, who is at fault here? And I think that I'm blaming the writers, and I think that maybe I'm being unfair. I don't think it's the writers. I think that we're just dealing with this problem of
maybe they're not being given a fair shot.
Nobody knows how to write for streaming.
Yeah.
And people are trying to figure it out.
Impossible.
Yeah, and I think that maybe I'm being too mean to the writers of some of these shows, because I think that nobody knows how to write for an 8-episode season. And so all of them are just kind of like weird and...
Well, because they wanted to do huge scale stuff.
Yeah.
With a small scale timeline.
Yeah.
And that is incredibly difficult to do.
Yeah.
Like very, 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 very tough. Blue wants to commission a reaction. Great. Love that for us.
2024.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 2 days left in this year. Yeah.
Oh my god, there's 2 days!
I know, right?
Let's go up. Trey Dobbs, also for a note, you're pretty damn cool, man. Thank you. You know a lot about Star Wars and other science fiction and fantasy things that I think is pretty cool. You two are super great. You two, the band, I just started watching. Oh, thanks, Trey Dobbs.
You too!
I appreciate you being here. What did you think about Rebel Moon?
I haven't seen it.
We're not going to watch Rebel Moon until the actual version comes out.
Yeah. Because also that is another fucking... I feel like this is just a rant stream on the state of fucking
television
entertainment right now. No, literally. Like, the whole, like, yeah, there's this movie that's dropping that I did, which is fine, but, like, my version of it is actually way better and tells a better story, so do with that information what you will, and I cannot fucking stand it.
I would love to have...
yeah.
I would love a documentary that they were filming the Netflix offices when Netflix is like, guys, big weekend coming up, Rebel Moon's coming out on Thursday, everyone's excited, right? Big movie. Sorry, who did an interview? What did Zach say? Oh, the version that we're putting up on our streaming service, our big Christmas movie, the giant end of our year, isn't the good version of the movie, and that the good version will come out next. Cool.
Hey, Zach. Hey, yeah. What the fuck, man?
Zach, shut the fuck up!
Like, yeah. Arcane worked, yes, but it did take like 4 years. I'm not saying that an 8-episode thing is impossible. It's just that, like, that seems to be like, no, you have to fit whatever story
Arcane
you want to
9.
tell. Was it 9?
Yeah,
okay,
but
8 or 9 episodes.
Arcane had a really deliberate structure of trilogy.
Yes, true.
So, like, Arcane is different to me partially because it's animated, and partially because they very clearly had a storytelling device that they used in the pacing of the show.
Yes. Yes. It was deliberate and intentional, and that's what I want more of. And that's what I am missing. And I
personally, I don't love the third trilogy of Arcane as much as the first two. I think part 1 and part 2 really work, and part 3 for me is
we are rewatching it.
I took that review down.
You took the review down?
Yeah, it's not up anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We did not love the finale of Arcane, and we're going back to watch it again to see if we feel differently.
We spend the entirety of it talking about the end, and not the rest of the show, and I just was like, you know what, this is not a good representation of how I feel about the show.
Sure, well, we record
and it only
then.
has 1,000 views.
When we rewatch it, we'll re-upload it in time for season 2.
No, we'll make a new one.
That's sorry. I mean, that's what I meant. Re-record
Yeah,
something.
I took that review down because we made the mistake of watching it watching the finale and then
then
reviewing the
immediately
finale and
going-
only talking about that.
Yes. We literally immediately went to go record.
Because I don't actually love the end of I don't love the end of Arcane until I see season 2.
Yeah.
I just felt like it ended on a weird random cliffhanger. The first like 7 episodes of it are perfect though, so I'm hoping that season 2 frames the ending of season 1 in a way that makes me love season 1.
Yeah.
Is how I feel about it, honestly.
It's possible,
Yeah.
but
Because it is one of the most beautiful animation things I've ever seen in my life.
yeah.
GRN
Yeah.
says, I wish quality animation was a faster production process. I take most of these high-dollar fantasy shows as animation in that case. But what's weird is, like, Vox Machina looks great, and they're putting out a season every year.
True. Yeah.
Like, the quality animation, people say it takes forever, but, like, some of these companies seem to have figured that out. And maybe it's just crunch, and if it's just crunch, then I take it back, because I don't want people to work in conditions that are not healthy, right? I don't want people to just be, like, crunching. I hope Titmouse is treating the Vox Machina team well, because it's one of my favorite shows of the year. It's in my top 5.
I would be very upset if it were not the case.
Season 2 of Vox Machina is definitely a top 5 thing for me. Yeah, I don't know. AMV fan says, have you considered reacting to an older show, maybe Babylon 5? I think we're going to take a break from older shows for a minute after Expanse ends.
They don't get views in the way that it is worth it for us monetarily, because we have an editor to pay, right? So the reactions kind of need to make at least that much for us to break even, and they don't always, especially for older stuff, which is just unfortunate. Like, Babylon 5 was my parents' favorite show, and I've only heard good things. I would love to see it, but yeah, it is definitely a question of, like, where we want to put our time and energy to try and make more money so that we can keep, like, doing this. And the older stuff is really hit or miss for that. Like, obviously, we have a really awesome Expanse community that's been here for a while. But even those, you know, I think like 10K views
7
or is like the cap. I mean, like the top end of what we get, which, you know, we have to pay our editor. But thank you for that super chat. We'll send that.
Yeah,
to our
I don't know that
editor.
Babylon 5 would perform. Which I want to watch Babylon 5. We might watch it off stream, but in terms of like the amount of work that a show, especially like a 5-season, 6-season show, you know, like so this is math that is hilarious to my brain. By the time I finish One Piece, which will be like 5 years, right, of reacting, even of 1,000 episodes of One Piece, would cost me about $25,000 to have edited. That's not a joke. We pay our editor well, but like 1,000 episodes of One Piece is $25,000 that we need to make to break even on the reaction series, right?
Yeah.
And so now obviously no show is 1,000 episodes except One Piece, so like that is an exception. But there's like a math element to what we do now.
Especially because we want to take that money and use it towards like the TTRPG stuff. Yeah. Right? Like there's stuff that we want to be doing, and so we gotta keep we do have to keep the business side of this in mind.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Sometimes like you know, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, we definitely lost money on.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We're fine. We're not like in a bad spot, but because I didn't love Full Metal and that community kind of strayed away from our reactions on it, because I wasn't just like hyping it up all the time, we kind of lose out on that. Could you do Patreon only to cut down the editing? I don't really know why we would do that. Because
so the reason people come over to Patreon is because they find us on YouTube. Yeah. And if we're not putting out the stuff on YouTube for them to come find on Patreon, then it doesn't really work. It's like a circle.
Daniel Mensch says, speaking of Legends of Vox Machina, did you watch the original streams or go into the anime blind? The number one thing I did this year, my favorite content that I consumed this year was I watched all of the original for campaign 1 of Critical Role.
We went into season 1 blind.
Yeah.
For sure.
And season 2. And then I watched it. Season 2 inspired me to watch.
Right.
It was after we got back from Denver.
Yes. So Nerdy has now seen it, but had not at the time that we did those reactions and reviews.
Watching campaign 1 this year was one of the great joys of the year for me. I loved it so much. I'm now 71. I just crossed the halfway point of campaign 2 nights ago. Mm-hmm. I love Critical Role. We have friends who work at that company. Obviously, we want to do more TTRPG stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of them. I love Dimension 20. I love
I love the space of the actual play. Is why I want to move our content more towards that.
That's why we're moving to LA.
I love Vox Machina as a team. I know you haven't seen all of it, but they are. I like Mighty Nine. I definitely think Vox Machina is my team a little bit more. I just adore them. I adore Keyleth. Scanlan is my boy. Grog is just one of my favorite characters in anything ever. I bought the Grog dice. I have a Grog chibi pin that I picked up at a con. Grog is just like one of my favorite. The way Travis Willingham plays him is one of the most like
Hi, models.
team focused actual play performances I've ever watched someone else do. Having fun playing a character while doing such an incredible job hyping up everyone else around the table.
Yeah.
Like Travis in campaign 1 for me really is just like a marvel of a human being. And so, yeah, no, I watched it this year and I love it. So I'll be spoiled on the rest of Chroma Conclave and everything after. But
Well, and I definitely do want to watch some Critical Role before we start our show, because they are clearly highly successful at it.
we could watch Calamity.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
we could
shorter.
do that. Yeah, we could totally
I
do
would,
that.
or we should watch some Dimension 20.
Yes, I mean, that's...
I mean, Fantasy High Junior High is about to come out, so
Sorry, no, I was like, oh no, I started watching
NADPOD.
NADPOD.
Yeah.
That's the goddammit. Yeah, because we're not trying to like copy them, but like they're successful at this thing, and we want to like emulate that energy. And I think that there's a reason that so many people are critters, right? It's a show that is incredible entertainment with incredible people, and I think it's
Yeah.
we should totally watch Calamity, because I want to become a better like role player in the TTRPG space.
Mhm.
I had a lot of fun with Grimace. If you missed the Christmas one shot, it was a blast. Grimace is now Santa Claus.
Yeah, Grimace is Santa Claus in my world of Felroja.
Yeah, but like
It's canon.
Yep, but we're doing a less pure comedic show in Dragonlance. We're gonna take it seriously, and it's gonna be fun and funny.
It's
like,
gonna lean more towards the tone of Vox Machina than like a Dimension 20 show does with comedy.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah.
A live show Critical Role. And Bryce, if I could have been in London, I would have been in London, dude. I want to go to a live Critical Role so bad.
Yeah.
There's a great Canadian TTRPG podcast. If you want another one, they're called Dwarven Moss. We saw their live show at Fan Expo last year.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. Just 2 players and a DM. They're doing Curse of Strahd, but their characters smoke Dwarven Moss and get high.
Yeah.
They're very funny. It's a great podcast. Really well produced. Great audio quality.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're great. We love them a lot. And I'm happy to see that the success that they've had with their show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like I love D&D and TTRPG content. I just find that like I run out of time, because we started Dimension 20, the Lord of the Rings one.
Yeah.
And like we watched episode 1, and then it didn't and I loved it. Like it was great. It's just so many hours.
I know, and I watch it while I work, so like I just burn through it, because like just cleaning the house when I'm doing the dishes and stuff, I just have it on at 1.5 speed. But
yeah.
Yeah,
we're very excited for Dragonlance. It's gonna be so fun.
Exalted Clown. I know nothing about Dragonlance, so I've kind of been learning about the world for this, and it's been fascinating. Like I'm really excited to get into it. I'm really excited. We have a Kender in our campaign. We have and 2 elves.
Elves.
Well, you guys will get to know them as we go.
I was like, do we want to spoil it, or do we want to
no.
make people come in and find out for themselves?
The players had like a player chat last night that I tuned in for a little bit of, and I really like the character you guys have come up with. I like the world I like what we're doing. I'm really excited for it. It's gonna be cool.
Me too.
And the module's fun. I think that I'm gonna be changing a lot of the module.
We're going off module.
Yeah, like there's like, even in like the very first thing in the module, there's a like puzzle that I think is very interesting, but it's like, if your player rolls a DC 14 intelligence check, they solve it. And I'm like, no. Like
right.
why would I just have it be a roll for a puzzle. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Think of the content.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun. We're gonna try and like be. It's gonna be one of those like kind of streams where we're gonna talk a lot about the module as we play it, and like what's actually in the module and why I change things.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to have that be a part of it.
Yeah, Blue, don't you
Blue
dare.
will spoil it for everyone if they ask nicely.
Don't you dare.
Arzu, Blue, you don't even know. How you don't know?
No, Blue is in the Discord.
But I thought the Dragonlance stuff was behind a.
You know what? I'm not sure.
Arzu, thank you for those membos.
Thank you so much for gifting memberships. All those people get to watch the live streams.
Speaking of TTRPG though, and Arzu, you just reminded me of this with that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You are the fucking best. Wheel of Time: Secrets of the Trolloc Wars is coming at some point next year.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Blue is in the like general stuff, but not in the character. Like there's different. I don't actually.
No, apparently Blue can see the Dragonlance stuff. So yeah,
Cool,
Blue
cool.
knows everything.
Blue knows everything.
Pay Blue money and he'll spoil you on something that you can find out in
like a week. It's fine.
literally a week.
Literally. Arzu, thank you so much for those gifted memberships.
The Dragonlance series has over
so much fun.
150 books in it. Okay, I don't have time
No,
for that.
yeah, we're not
Yeah.
doing that.
Does anyone know what happened to the Lord of the Rings series about the rings being made? It's coming back in 2024, but the rings are already made, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, it's over now. There was too much gray in the chat. Sure.
They're going to make the rings in reverse order.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Trolloc Wars TTRPG stuff is we just need to find the right people for it.
Yeah.
They need to be TTRPG people as well as Wheel of Time people. So gonna take some time, but definitely sometime in 2024. We have several different campaigns. Obviously Dragonlance, the Candela Obscura that we got for as the charity goal. Wheel of Time, all the good fun goodies, you know.
Yeah.
Fun goodies. We are also very excited for Cosmere Book Club.
Yes, I'm so stoked to read it.
Yeah.
The Final Empire.
Models wants to know how the new baby is doing. The computer.
It is in the darkness of the basement waiting for me to
Yeah, we ended
put
stream.
an operating system on
We
it.
ended stream yesterday and we had to do other stuff. So
Yeah.
she's alive. She's alive. We gotta install all the updates and shit and Windows and stuff. Probably not today, honestly, but well, no, tonight.
Are the No, we're gonna do it tonight when we get back.
What?
Exalted Clown. Are the first Dragonlance books that this campaign takes place during the ones that we were sent? Did you know there's a Mistborn TTRPG? I thought it was coming out. Is it already out, Kung Pao Sandwich?
I don't know.
I thought that they had just announced it. I know there's a Lord of the Rings series that came out recently where they're making the rings and show exactly who get all the rings. The Rings of Power? The Lord of the Rings of Power trade-offs? I think you're talking about a show that is season 2's coming.
Yep.
No idea.
Sometime.
Someone sent me Dragonlance books to our PO box.
Right.
So I might have those. I don't know.
Yeah, they're there somewhere.
Yeah, trade-offs. Yeah, season 2's coming. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but we're hopeful that it's better.
Yeah. New computer looks good. Muddles. I haven't announced this anywhere except here on the stream. Muddles, I don't think you were here for it. I'm gonna stream tomorrow.
Clarus is gonna play games.
I'm gonna come back.
Is it the return of Baldur's Gate?
Probably. That's probably what we're gonna do.
Baldur's Gate tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited. I miss streaming a lot.
Yeah.
I miss it a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna be restreaming on Twitch and YouTube and give that a shot and see how it goes. If you're not subscribed to my channels already, that's Claris Polaris.
Yeah.
On both Twitch and YouTube. It'll be restreamed to both of those places. So.
Yeah, very excited. I'm so excited for you to be streaming tomorrow. It's gonna be really fun to watch.
Yeah, me too.
I like your character in your Baldur's Gate character too. Do you remember
my Dark
her at
Urge
all?
character?
Yeah.
She's basically like.
It's because I like watching you go, what the fuck am I doing?
I made her a Circle of Spores druid because she's like based off of the character that I got to play the longest in a campaign. Who, funnily enough, is named. No, sorry, that was a different one. I actually didn't get to name that character, Nanvi, because Nanvi was a sibling to one of the main characters of that. And so, I think her name is Autumn.
Yeah.
in my Baldur's Gate run. Dark Urge,
Which is
playthrough.
so funny because of what you named your Dragonlance character.
Yeah, that was kind of an accident.
You seem to have a naming scheme going right now.
Well, Autumn used to be my go-to name for when I would write like short stories and stuff in school. I just like the name Autumn. I think it's really gorgeous. I'm not spoiling the name of my Dragonlance character yet, but it is within that vein.
No. Also,
cool.
if anyone knows artists who are really good at like fantasy character art, let us know.
Yes, we want character art.
We need a lot of art in the next like 5 months. So we need artists.
Please send artist recommendations. Snowwolf has over 1,000 hours and built a PC just to play Baldur's Gate 3. Fair.
I get it. What? We bought a second PS5 so that we could play co-op.
Yep. Yes, we did.
We moved our upstairs TV into our living room, so we just have 2 televisions side by side so that we can play Baldur's Gate co-op at night.
Yeah.
And I need you to get further ahead so that we can move our couch game ahead.
I am still in like Act 1. That's the word. Yeah, I am so far behind because we've been Snowwolf, I don't
Snowwolf, it was also that here, pass me that controller. We were at Best Buy and we wanted to play co-op, and also the Spider-Man 2 PS5 came out. The PS5's right there because I was playing Spider-Man. But like, look at this controller. Like, I just wanted the like limited edition PS5, and so we bought it.
Yeah, we'll throw a photo of our setup in the Discord because
I posted it on my Instagram story the other day.
Yeah, but it disappears after 24 hours, right?
I'll just show a photo to chat right now.
Oh, chat.
I have to be careful scrolling through my fucking phone because of you.
Yeah, watch out. My character is not called Pumpkin Spice. No.
Although, really cute name for like a gnome.
Pumpkin Spice. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty cute name for like a gnome or a.
Yeah. Oscar, thank you for that super chat. Honestly, Jujutsu Kaisen has been one of the few shows this year that I've been genuinely excited to watch on a weekly basis. I have heard great things. Thank you so much for that super chat. But yeah, that is a show that people seem to really love. I haven't heard a bad thing about it, to be honest. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Or a Spice Girl. I'm not playing a Spice Girl, no. I'm like, how do I drop a hint for my character?
You don't need to.
No, it's just fun. It's fun to see if they can, like, guess.
Okay, you guys might not be able to see this the best, but basically the 2 televisions sit side by side like this.
Yeah.
And
no, that doesn't. Yeah.
So we literally just have 2 giant TVs side by side.
Yeah. One of the TVs is significantly better than the other.
Yeah.
My halfling bard was inspired by you. Wow. Thank you. Muddles, one day we'll meet in real life and you'll be like, oh, you're a normal sized human. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, fuck you, Fabu. I don't think Fabu's in chat, so it's not funny, but I adore
Oscar, thank you for that super chat.
Yeah, we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very excited for my character.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited for Dragonlance.
It's gonna be fun. Shall we talk about a few of our Wheel of Time predictions that we thought would be fun?
All right, guys, we're going to be moving on to full book spoilers here. So if you do not want full book spoilers for the Wheel of Time, unfortunately now is the time for you to say adieu. But yeah, we're going to move on to full book spoilers.
I do need that shirt.
Is there a chapter breakdown up for Mistborn? Yeah, me monk. So next week we're doing section 1 and 2
of book 1.
And then it's in the Discord. It's pinned in the Cosmere channel. Mm-hmm. And it's on my Twitter, I think. And I think it's on. I can just read it to you.
God damn it, Muddles. I'm also gonna ask Icicle to share the link for the prediction stuff.
Yeah.
In case anyone wants to go over it. They put a lot of time into it. It's really cool. It's awesome.
So January 5th, we're doing the prologue and parts 1 and 2 of Final Empire. January 12th, we're doing part 3. January 19th, we're doing part 4 to the end. And January 26th, we're doing the full book recap. So we're going to do it in 3 sections and then the full book recap. 4 streams in January to cover the first book of the Cosmere.
Hell yeah. Also, if any of you have any recommendations for displaying your Misty Mountain Gaming dice, let me know. I want to I want to like display that we have like a shelf with all of our like D&D stuff. There's like really we have a lot of really pretty dice, and some of them are in boxes where you can't see the actual dice. I want to come up with a way to actually display the dice.
Yeah.
All right. I only wrote down a couple because we said a lot of
I still
shit.
wrote down hundreds.
There are so many predictions.
There were 300 in A Memory of Light alone.
Including all of our like highs and lows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's high lows in there for each section and everything. Mm-hmm. It is truly incredible.
What Ice Cold did is awesome.
Ice Cold, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We will have that forever. Which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we said a lot of shit during book club,
We
and
did.
a lot of it I was like, oh, that's kind of obvious, like that's not worth like talking about.
Obviously, the most amazing from the beginning was the Aiel are the people of the dragon. Like that was the number one prediction of the entire series.
Well, and I guess I went and read what was I guess the whole thing.
Yeah.
That the Tinkers used to be the Aiel.
Yeah.
And that they I don't know where that came from.
Divine inspiration.
I will take credit for it because why not?
Touched by God.
Don't know how my brain came to that conclusion. There is a clip of it that exists. Wild. I don't know what happened there, but you know what? I think it was us like talking through shit and just verbal. When you say enough things, some of them have to end up being true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You say enough shit, eventually you're gonna land on the money.
Yeah, 100%.
But the one that I want to talk to the one that you predicted.
Yeah.
You predicted Matt losing an eye in book 6.
Sure.
Yeah, that's great. That's fucking rad. You're half the light of the world. He's gonna lose an eye.
Oh, that just seems so obvious to me.
Yeah, I had no idea. I thought he was gonna have to sacrifice his wife. That was my...
Yeah, no. The half the light of the world, meaning that you're losing an eye, to me was like the most like, oh, of course.
Yeah, well, I didn't get it.
The one that I'm happy about that I predicted apparently in like book 1 is that Tom was going to become a warder.
You did predict that. I do have that written down. Yeah.
I nailed that one in like the first book.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen until fucking like book 13.
True, yeah. You also, you at the time, you thought maybe Egwene, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, that Tom was going to be a Egwene's warder, yeah.
Because this was like book 1 shit, you know? For Cosmere, we're just reading the first, we're doing 3.
We're doing Era 1. And then we're going to figure it out from there. We might do Era 1 and then like an Expanse book and then Era 2 and then an Expanse book, then Stormlight. I don't know. We're going to figure it out.
We're going to, that's
Honestly,
going to take some mathing.
Y'all are going to probably vote in the Discord on the order.
That's fair.
And
join the Discord if you want to have a say.
Going to tell us what you vote on.
Yeah.
Arzu is like, I think the lead mod for Cosmere. Because they've read it, I believe.
In terms of knowledge?
So, we're going to kind of defer to Arzu, probably. So if you...
Yeah, Arzu
Please be nice to her. If I find out that you guys are being mean to Arzu, I will come shit on your porch. When you open your door, I will take your face and I will make you eat my shit. Well, so be nice to Arzu or else I will force my poop down your throat.
Arzu, we're also going to need your YouTube URL link.
Yeah.
We can't just put your username.
Don't put it here.
Don't put it here. But yes. Yes, Arzu is gonna be helping us out a lot. So thank you for that. Yeah. We're gonna welcome Arzu as a mod and as well as Rob Ross as a mod. So thank you for joining the team, y'all. And Threk was a mod for Roleplay Relay, but we're just making them a mod in general. So yes, thank you Threk, Rob, and Arzu.
Be nice to our mods.
We're gonna have a blast. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. What else? What else did we predict? So I wanted to spark a bit of a debate in the chat. Okay. Because in book 1, we disagreed on the first time that Rand channeled.
Okay.
You think that the first time that he channels is to make Bella run faster.
Yeah.
And I think that the first time Rand channels is to hide him from the Fade. And I don't know if it's ever, confirmed. So I was, super interested to see what chat thinks.
It was 2 letters.
Not that debate. We all know who was right about that one.
Yeah, me. Brandon
Sure.
Sanderson texted me last night and said that I was right.
Sure, yeah. Whatever you say. When do you guys think the first time Rand channels is?
We should try and get an interview with Brandon Sanderson, and if he says yes, have him show up thinking that it's going to be like the Paulini interview, where we're just going to like interview him about his work, but we just ask him to settle our scores on Wheel of Time for an hour.
God damn
And the whole time he's like, they're not really asking me anything about my contributions. They're just asking me to like answer questions.
That would be hilarious.
No channeling when he fought Narg? I don't think he channeled to fight Narg.
I think maybe some people think that that is a possibility. I think that the first time he channels is hiding from the Fade.
Okay, here's the answer to your question. I am right, and you might be right. In that, I'm
For
right.
the first time.
in
He
that-
definitely does channel in that moment.
I am right in that that is the first time we know he channeled, and you could be right in that he might have, but we will never know.
I guess we'll never
Like,
know.
Unless
It's in Robert Jordan's notes somewhere.
I'm right in a way that I can prove, and you're right in a way that you feel.
Sure.
But truly, like I'm not saying you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
not even saying that like he might have channeled while he was fighting Narg, right?
Yeah.
Fades can detect channeling, so nope, you're wrong.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember Fades being able to detect channeling.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird things where I was like, maybe chat has strong opinions on it. Like, I feel like this is like a debate that people have on Reddit or something.
Andrew Leonard says, I think removing Bella's exhaustion, then the hangover from it was when he was in the crow's nest of the spray. No. God, no. That's days later.
Yeah,
they go through.
that is.
They like go to bed and Shadar Lagoth. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you got
The
there.
Shadar Lagoth and Shadar Haran being the fucking same
Rude,
words
I
is
know.
bullshit.
I know.
Fuck you, Robert Jordan.
Yeah, it's just rude to dyslexic
I'm kidding.
people.
I'm so kidding. No, those are days apart, Angel Leonard.
Yeah, the ship is when he moved the boom.
Yeah, but he definitely channels into Bella. We know because he feels tired afterwards.
Yeah, it it makes you feel ill.
So it's so like you could be right, but like only Robert Jordan could answer that question.
Yeah.
There's there's nothing in the books that says that you're right, but
Yeah, no, I was just curious.
I
what
also
people
just
thought.
I don't know about this Fades can detect channeling thing. I don't think we've ever.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that ever being said to us. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot in these books. It is quite possible we missed it. We predicted Rand would become Male Aes Sedai, and 3 women around his funeral pyre would be his warders.
Yeah, we got that wrong.
We had it backwards.
Yeah, but did we get that wrong? We kind of got it right.
It
feels a little
inverted,
obvious, but
inverted, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. We were also trying to figure out who the third lady was because this was before Aviendha.
Oh, I like this. Daniel Mensch says, you cast Speak with Dead on Robert Jordan. What are your 5 questions?
How many letters?
No, because Brandon Sanderson wrote that.
Did he write that? I thought he just like put it to paper. I guess, yeah. I don't know. God damn it.
What were the Outrigger novels about?
Oh, interesting.
What is the plot after the Wheel of Time?
Gotcha.
Oh my god. I would ask him a very long question where I explain the ending of the Wheel of Time, and I'd be like, did Brandon Sanderson nail it? In your opinion?
Did he nail it?
He's just like,
Yeah.
it's like he's so decrepit and decayed, like the guy from the Dungeons and Dragons movie, and he's just
like,
sitting there for an hour while I'm trying to lay out the series of events that Brandon Sanderson wrote.
Yeah. I would ask him,
How did Rand light the pipe?
See, no, I don't give a shit about that.
Fair.
I would ask...
Why is Brandon deadbeat dad?
No, I would... Well, yes. Why did Rand abandon his children? And why would you write a series about humans having a choice, but then take away people's choice with the Taviran-ness? Like, why would you undercut your own message with Taviran? Why would you do this?
Yeah. Well, but I don't know if he wrote the choice bit at the end.
He wrote basically the epilogue.
That's not in the epilogue, though. The choice bit is at the end of the final chapter before the epilogue. So
Okay.
Brandon Sanderson wrote that, like, thematic point, maybe. I don't know who wrote
Well,
what.
I was reading through our
But-
predictions, and in the early books, we said like that this whole series like is thematically going to be about choice, and then it just kept undercutting itself with the Taviranness and people not having a choice. That I was like, oh, I guess we got that wrong, and then we got to the end, and it's like, oh yeah, no, it was actually about that, and I was like, okay, so then fuck everybody else unless you're a main character.
I will never not find the Wheel of Time kind of comical for the fact that Rand is like, this was never about fighting you, but like the majority of the people we see die on page are killed before the last battle, are killed by random bubbles of evil that are just the Dark One randomly killing people.
That is true.
And it's like this weird thing where Rand is like, if humans just all chose to be good, I wouldn't have to fight you. And I'm like, but no, you would, because like he made beetles come out of that guy's mouth. Like the Dark One did bad shit on his own.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
It's one of those weird Rand like forgets the shit that he saw to get here.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. What would I ask him? I would ask, why did you make 2 on black?
Interesting choice. I like that as a question because there's probably a reason.
Oh, I'm sure there is, and I would love to talk to him about that.
I would ask him what is his favorite size of breast.
His favorite size of breast.
The thumbnail for this video was inspired by Robert Jordan.
Yes, thank you.
There is a reason why Clarus is folding her arms. She is looking disdainfully and
I am embodying
folding her
women in the
arms
Wheel of Time.
under her breasts on the thumbnail of this video as a final goodbye to Robert Jordan's series.
Yes, thank you.
Until
for that.
season 3 comes out, which might happen in 2024, according to that Spanish Prime picture.
Oh yeah.
Fucking massive blue, just the biggest titties.
Yes, just badonkadonks.
There's so many people we should have shot with in LA that Robert Jordan would have loved.
Yes, facts. I just want to point out that that I predicted that Egwene would be the Amerlin without taking the oaths. That prediction was in book 3.
Yeah, that's insane that you predicted that, because that is, and that it wouldn't happen at the tower.
Yeah, I predicted that she would not be raised in the tower, which that was later on, you know, when the tower was
I know,
like,
but you still
splitting.
fucking called that.
Yeah, I was like, Egwene is gonna be raised as Amerlin outside of the tower and not take the oaths.
Yeah.
And apparently I guessed that Greendal killed Asmodean. I don't remember that. I'm pretty sure I was just throwing out names, but I said it, and that's what matters.
Linus Vikstrom says, in my opinion, Bubbles of Evil aren't from the Dark One. They're just the pattern unraveling in general. But then they still have to fix the pattern by fighting the Dark One. Like
because the Dark One wants to destroy the wheel, so the pattern unraveling is a direct result of the Dark One.
Yes, but the problem with that is that even if nobody did anything evil, the Dark One is still getting out. Like, nobody's letting the Dark One out in the series. That's not the function of the series. People making evil choices isn't functionally how the Dark One gets let out. He just gets let out kind of randomly. And so, because the seals are still in his prison, so they would still have to go stop him regardless of what anybody else does. If the Forsaken were not there and nobody was being evil, Rand still has to go deal with the Dark One getting closer to the pattern.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, those events still had to take place regardless of people's choice. It's just a very weird thematic ending for Rand to be like, this was never about you, even though it would have had to have been regardless.
Yeah.
I don't really know what this series was about, man. It was really long, and I'm trying to tie it all down to like one idea. But maybe you just can't make 15 books about one idea at the end of the day.
I think the idea got lost somewhere along the way, you know, and that happens. It's tough to write a long epic like this. And the fact that it was 2 different people also is another layer of complexity, and that just is what it is.
Yeah, I do think that part of it is that it's hard for me to buy that the themes of choice matter in a series where we never see characters make a different one. Like the characters don't change. One of the things about the Wheel of Time that drives me crazy is that it's so long, but nobody changes sides in the entirety of the thing. Ingtar kind of in book
the
2,
very beginning, and
then after that, everyone is on the side they're on.
Yeah.
And it's something I think the show is doing more with, right? Like, I think, like, Min, I don't really get why they're doing it with Min in particular, but Min is, like, kind of working for the Dark One, kind of not. But for a series that, like, is, like, it's about choice, we never see anybody make a choice to be evil. Everybody we meet is already evil when we meet them, or already against the Dark One when we meet them, and there's no flip-flopping. We never get to see... We kind of do with the Mandred and the Sharans in a chapter that was cut from the books.
Right.
We kind of see how Demandred leads the Sharans to be evil, but everybody else is either a dark friend or not.
Yeah.
And... So for the series to be about choice, but never once show us someone make the choice to be evil is so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
There's 15 of these books. You'd think at some point...
Yeah, we never see that moment of turning.
They should have had one of the 5 turn evil 100%.
Yeah, or something.
Asmodean didn't flip.
There.
He didn't have a choice.
Yeah, Asmodean was forced
He was a
into it.
prisoner.
Yeah.
Like... He was literally, in the same way that Moga Dean didn't flip, she was just a prisoner. Like,
yeah. And that's the thing, is taking away the choice from the characters is what undermines.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah, and so it's just weird. It's just strange. I don't think it was particularly successful for the book to be like, yeah, this was totally the theme all along. Because I don't... Varen kind of. Okay.
No, Varen does not. Varen
is forced into being a dark friend and decides to make the most of it.
Never chooses to be evil. She just kind of like accidentally becomes one of them, but is always a good person and is always acting for the good of the world.
Yeah. But it's like one of my criticisms, no characters die. Correct. Talmain's dying at the beginning of Memory of Light would have been a huge step up for the series.
Like, if you want the show to be about, if you want it to be about choice, great, right? Do it, fucking do it. But show us people making choices about their own morality.
Yeah.
The show never does.
Yeah.
The books. The books never ask us to engage with a character making a decision against their previously established morality. Even Ingtar is already good by the time we meet him. He just was evil at some point.
He just made a wrong choice and became a dark friend and then was like, I fucked up. Aegeanin kind of, but again, that's at the beginning, and then her storyline falls apart. We thought Aegeanin might be one of the most interesting characters when she was introduced to this idea that, oh, your entire worldview is incorrect, and I think
Aegeanin
that
is
fell
never
flat.
evil.
Aegeanin is never evil, no, but she is doing evil things because she believes that it's supposed to be... I mean, she is a part of a slaver society.
I know, but the Sanshin within the morality of the Wheel of Time aren't evil. This is what's so messed up.
That's
the Sanshin. No.
Debate,
I'm not talking about my morality. A lot of these characters make fucked up choices based on what I'm saying is right.
I just mean
within the world of the Wheel of Time, Aegeanin goes from one side of the good guys to another side of the good guys.
Yeah.
She's never based on who beats the Dark One at the end of the series.
You're right.
Aegeanin never works for the evil guys.
She doesn't go Dark One to not Dark One or vice versa, because that is ultimately at the end.
Nobody
nobody
changes sides in the entire series.
Yeah.
No one changes sides in the entire series.
Maybe Lanfear.
And then the end of it is
Lanfear.
like, Lanfear is fucking evil the whole time.
She is evil, but she's like, I kind of was maybe forced to be maybe. At the very end.
No,
she's like, you don't know my life.
That's a lie. That's a fucking lie to get out of it.
It could be. Yeah. Could be.
She's just
Look,
evil.
I'm trying
She's
to
just
come up with
evil
something.
the whole time.
Trying to come up with something.
No, but this is my problem. This series says that it is about choice. Nobody changes sides ever.
Yeah.
And so it isn't about choice. We never see choice interact with the narrative of this book series.
And that is way at the very beginning, and so it just feels like it's like...
But Ingtar's already made that choice. We
don't see the...
We see the moment where he tells Rand about a choice he has already made.
Yeah.
We don't see him go through that.
Yeah.
And that's where like the ending of the series falls apart for me.
Yeah.
Is that like it ultimately is the series trying to tell me a moral message about how I should live in the real world that it has never shown me in the books, and it is trying to be like, but this has all been about something that it never was. It was never about the choices that Rand made, because Rand is fucking crazy half the time.
True, yeah.
And the other half the time is so Taviran up his ass that he's doing shit he tells the audience in his own head he does not want to do, but that he gets sick if he doesn't do it. Matt is like, if I don't go towards for Zebudar, I violently throw up. Perrin's like, I don't really want to be involved in any of this.
I keep seeing them visions in my eyeballs.
Massima was a good boy turned evil.
No, he was crazy. Also crazy.
Massima's not evil.
He is pretty evil.
I feel bad for him.
Because he's crazy.
But Massima, despite everything, Massima thinks that he is working for that he's actively doing his best to fight against what he views as the Dark One. He never chooses to work for the Dark One. He is actively trying to fight the Dark One in his way. Is his way wrong? Absolutely. But he does not choose to work for the Dark One.
True. Yeah, no, he's just fucked.
Fane goes from Dark One evil to Shadar Lagoth evil, so still evil.
Still evil.
Nobody switches sides. Massima goes about it the wrong way. We can talk all day about how people go about fighting the Dark One the wrong way.
Yeah.
Sure. But nobody switches sides in the entire series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody is swayed. Nobody is...
No one's tempted.
Makes choices.
We don't even see them try and sway anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, are you evil? No? Then you're a bad guy to us.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, everybody that we meet enters the story on one side of the spectrum, and they stay on that side of the spectrum the entire way through.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It is so odd. It is just very strange that was like the message that they were trying to go with, and I really don't think that they set it up very well.
Chris Sharper says, actually, Morden screwed with Massima's mind through his dreams. That's why he went crazy. So even in that,
what?
It's not even a choice. It's not even the choices that Massima makes. It's just magic. It's just magic insanity.
In the books? I just thought Massima went like crazy.
Ember Eyes, this is why I think the ending should have been Rand taking the power of fate and splitting it to everyone, than having people realize that they can suddenly change their minds about things. Fucking incredible.
Ta'Veren
Ember Eyes,
goes away.
That would be a really interesting way to end the series. For there to never be any more Ta'Veren. Maybe magic goes away, and there's just no more magic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting.
The more I think about the ending of the Wheel of Time, the more frustrated I get.
Yeah, it's
because
all
I'm like, what?
Let's talk about
not one person in the whole thing.
I know.
It's 15 books and it's almost like statistically more crazy that there are 2,500 characters in the Wheel of Time, and not statistically, it seems almost impossible. Fucking Harry Potter has like 9 characters, and 3 of them change sides. The Wheel of Time has 2,700 characters, and not one of them goes to the dark. That is fucking nuts.
Yeah. We don't see them go to the dark. We don't see anyone change. Yeah. It is odd.
It's in Massima's Dying Vision in book 12. Oh, that's right. No, I remember that.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Dedsy, we don't see it, and so it's like, well, fuck me, you know?
We don't see how it impacts the story.
Yeah.
Partially because everything's a prophecy, but that's a whole other art thing. For a series about choice, the fact that there's a prophecy for, like, what cereal Rand eats every morning is just, it's like...
Yes. The Ta'Veren and the prophecy just undercut what I think the book says that it's trying to say.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But I wanted to talk about Cosmere, actually. Someone brought up a point of keeping track of predictions for Cosmere. And I'm wondering, what is the best way to go about that?
Predictions for Cosmere?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Apparently, Stormlight is not spoiled by Mistborn, but Stormlight book 3 spoils something in Mistborn era 2.
Sure.
So,
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna make the reading order of things tough, but maybe we should ask like a team of people to keep up with predictions and ask if that's a possibility.
Wait, the Dark Friend soldiers search for the horn that turns good at the end?
Ingtar, we talked about that. That's book 2. It's so early.
No, but he's already good at that point. Mm-hmm. He's already good when we meet him. He was evil before the book starts, and then before the book starts, he's already decided that he did not like that and he wanted to be good. So even Ingtar, we only see him tell Rand about changing his mind.
I think you could argue that. Because he tells Rand that he was like too invested in the horn and their hunt for it, like in the parts that we like read, and he like realizes he fucks up. But that's the thing. Ingtar is the only example, and it is in book 2.
I thought he regretted joining the dark immediately after he did it.
I don't know if he says immediately, but he definitely regrets it. He knows he did wrong. There is a moment there which it honestly, I think we love Ingtar. We love that moment. We're sad it's not in the show, but that is not enough for it to carry the entire theme of the like 15 books, right?
Bogdan says they're going to track the predictions for Cosmere. Bogdan, you a real one.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you, Bogdan. Appreciate
Be nice
that.
to Bogdan.
Yeah.
Arzu and Bogdan, everyone be nice to them during the Cosmere streams.
Yeah. Because I would, apparently there's a lot of, like, foreshadowing, less, I think, like, prophecy, like Wheel of Time, but, like, there is definitely room for making predictions, which I think will be fun. One day in a couple years, I think it'd be fun to go over the Wheel of Time sheet and be like, oh, yeah, remember that, and things. It's just a really, like, special thing to have, so...
No, I agree. Yeah.
I Bogdan, thank you. That'd be fucking awesome.
Padded Fane begins evil but starts his own evil franchise.
Basically.
I would be more down for the Padded Fane argument if he didn't get lost in the narrative and kind of
relevant.
have such a bad end. I'm really disappointed by Padded Fane's ending.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think the show can do better.
Deadsy, I will. 1 to 6, fantastic. We'll definitely reread
I mean,
those.
you've reread the first 2.
Yeah, audiobook,
Aren't you in the Dragon Reborn?
I barely started Dragon Reborn.
Clarissar's already started her reread.
Yeah.
I'll definitely reread the first 6 again. I think that here's the thing. Some people, what's funny about the Wheel of Time reactions to season 2 is there are people in the chat being like, why is Nerdy so upset that they change things when he doesn't like the way the books go? Isn't he happy they're changing things? And what's funny about those comments is that no, I don't want them to change the first 6 books.
Yeah.
I like the first 6 books so much.
Except for the spankings.
Shadow Rising.
That was our biggest complaint was like circus stuff.
But that stuff also got
spankings.
Worse.
Yeah.
Like the I don't think they really start spanking people a lot until like book like 6. There's barely any in Dragon Reborn. Stop picking it up.
Yeah.
There's almost no spankings in book 1, right? Like the spankings get really bad in like 6, 7, 8. When Egwene is in the tower getting spanked constantly, and like Min gets spanked by Sora Leah for no fucking reason.
Avienda spanks that girl in Kyrian who's trying to hit
5.
on Rand. Was that book 5? There is definitely still stuff that we were like, that's kind of weird.
Sure.
And then it got worse. You're right.
But like it starts to get weird.
Yeah.
Like
Parent spanks Fail. That's true. I think book 5. Book 5 is when it gets to be like, well, guys, what the fuck?
And if they cut the spankings, great. But I like the narrative of the first 6 books a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Shadow Rising is an S tier. You guys know, like, I have my shelves, right? The S tier shelf of fantasy for me.
Oh, we didn't do a character
is ranking. We wouldn't have had time.
Yeah, you're right.
The S tier shelf of fantasy writing for me is The Shadow Rising, Brissinger, the 3rd book in the Aragon series.
Mm-hmm.
Like of the things we've covered on this, those are like the 2 best books I think that we've covered on the show.
Definitely. I mean, Murtag I think was pretty spectacular.
Murtag's having read it twice, it's like a couple rungs down for me. I put it like I give Murtag like a solid
like a
B+.
C? Oh, wow, okay.
No, there's like S tier, and then there's A tier, and then there's B tier, right? Murtag is at the top. Murtag is like a A- B+ for me.
Sure, okay. All right.
I really do like it. I do think like rereading it, that second half is a little bit long, and I think could have been condensed a little bit.
Okay.
And just not been as rough.
It is also a bridge from the inheritance cycle to the next cycle, and so
it's still like an A-. It's still up there, but like Brissinger and Inheritance is like an A+, almost an S. Lord of Chaos is an A+, almost an S. Yeah. Right. But for me, like Brissinger and Shadow Rising of the books we've covered on the show are the 2 best books for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss out on the things I love about Shadow Rising because the show is changing things so that Tower of Dreams is better. I want the Tower of Midnight.
Oh.
I want the show to get through the stuff that I like and then change stuff later. But like the setup for the world is great. Just like fix how boring and slow it gets in book 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, don't change the beginning. The beginning's what's amazing about the Wheel of Time. Book 4 of the Wheel of Time is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Agreed. Yeah, I fucking love it. I can't wait to reread that one, to be honest.
DK Moon says, I'm okay with spanking versus torture. I think most of the spanking was a YA choice of the series. What fucking YA? What?
No. And especially because, like, the spanking definitely, like, feels like a weird fetish thing because
Yeah.
it's so recurring.
And because it's so much like woman on woman.
Yeah.
And because it's like, and because there's that one section, I can't remember what book it's in, but it's when Min gets spanked, Egwene gets spanked, and then Sorlia spanks Min at the beginning of the next chapter for no reason.
Every chapter.
And then Avienda spanks somebody. Like, it's
Yeah.
like 4 chapters in a row where a different woman gets spanked for no fucking reason.
Yeah. It's just to have the spanking, and it doesn't matter. Like, the
Yeah, it doesn't
spankings
do
literally
anything.
don't matter.
Even
like,
Min is like, I don't know why I just got spanked, but like
Yeah.
it was super weird.
Yeah, end of book 7. Yeah, there was just every single section was a new person spanking, and I was like, why?
And I was just like, I don't even know how to talk about this. Like, I don't know how to engage with this in any way.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's like if Quentin Tarantino just put feet in every scene of a movie.
Yeah.
It's so odd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jay Abbott says Lord of Chaos is best in Wheel of Time for me. I know it's not the best overall, but do might as well. It's my second favorite book. I don't think you're wrong at all.
Lord of Chaos is number 2 for both of us.
I think Lord of Chaos is really strong. I think that Fires of Heaven would be stronger for me without the traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Elaine and Nynaeve complaining about traveling together for 400 pages is really just a drain on that book. That is otherwise very good.
Yeah, some of the female interactions are cringy.
Yeah. I like Dragon Reborn a lot. I think Dragon Reborn is on the A shelf.
Yeah, for sure. Samantha, thank you. Wheel of Time anniversary. It's been 2 wonderful
Thank you, Samantha.
up and down years of loving and hating the Wheel of Time. So thank you for being on this journey with us.
It's never gonna end. Like, Wheel of Time for me is one of those series where like it's big enough and there's enough stuff in it that I do love. Those first 6 books that I do love. Harzu, fuck you. Unless you're being serious.
I think they're serious. Look, Gathering Storm
really,
is
Winter's Heart.
Gathering Storm, Shadow Rising. I agree with you. If you love Winter's Heart, I'm happy for you.
I mean, look, the end of the book is amazing, but like the
true.
first 3/4 of the book is rough.
There are people who like that book, and that's the thing. We're talking about endings with the show. When you end strong, people people love that. That is like just as human beings. I totally get that.
I'm serious, but I know that I'm rare. I love you. I'm totally joking. Love what you love. Please never. If I don't want anyone to like.
Crossroads of Twilight. You know what I mean? Like.
There's a great I don't know if you guys have seen. I think it's from actually it's from a Dropout show where one of the guys on the show is like, one of the girls is like, wait, you've read all of the Wheel of Time? And he's like, no, I had to take a break after book 6 because nobody makes a decision ever in those books. And I was like, if you don't like the first 6.
Then don't pick it back up.
If you stopped in Lord of Chaos because it was too slow, oh boy, do I have a series for you.
Yeah, don't do it. Just don't. Which, fair. You know what?
Like,
it was, actually. Okay, yeah.
In hindsight, the fact that Crossroads of Twilight is, the plot of Crossroads of Twilight is during the 8 days following Rand cleansing the taint, a bunch of characters sit around and wonder what happened in the direction of the cleansing. That's the plot of the whole book. Is just cutting from character to character so that they each get 4 chapters going, something happened in the West.
Very interesting. Oh my god. Into the West.
It would be like if Lord of the Rings between like the fucking 2 Towers and Return of the King had an entire novel that was just everybody dealing with like the emotional trauma of Helm's Deep in Helm's Deep. Like they just kind of sat there.
People who weren't there for it.
Oh, it's Pippin and Merry wondering where the Uruk-hai went.
Yeah.
They're like, a lot of tracks left fucking Saruman's castle. I wonder where those went.
Very strange.
Don't know.
This podcast is brought to you by Misty Mountain Gaming, MistyMountainGaming.com. Use code nerdynightly15 to get some discount on some math rocks.
True.
Because in January we're going to roll for some initiative. Yeah. That's a segue. You're welcome.
Matt was the only character that mostly kept his plot moving. Yeah, but Matt's plot wasn't going anywhere at the time. So, like, yeah, he was the one who was moving, but he wasn't moving towards anything. He was just kind of like the problem with Matt's plot for so much of the slog is that he doesn't really know what he's trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't, like, Matt never really has a solid goal in the second half of the series, which is tough.
Yeah.
Because he just kind of doesn't want to be involved in stuff. And because the series never really resolves him not wanting to be involved by making him want to be involved, he, like, Matt gets a little bit tough.
Yeah.
And I understand why the show is struggling so much with him. And I feel like they've made some grave mistakes with Matt in terms of his characterization. Particularly in making him a hero of the Horn, the thing that he's so excited to not be at the end of the series. Like,
Just saying.
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, Matt's whole thing is just like not wanting to participate, which is a tough character to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like when you're playing D&D and there's that one character that doesn't want to be part of the party.
Or like wants to be a part of the party but doesn't want the party to like interact with the government.
Yeah.
Like the local squire's like, we need your help with something, and they're like, can we like just like have a drinking episode? And the rest of the party's like, no, there's a dragon.
Have shit
Like,
to do. Yeah. Yeah.
Matt is the character. Matt is the guy who plays Skyrim and is like, how many wheels of cheese can I collect?
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, Nerdy is going to be streaming Crowd Control Skyrim
On
Monday.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for
Crowd
this stream.
Control Skyrim. The charity stream is happening on Monday, y'all. So
I'm so excited. You promised you'd take me to the Christmas market, so
we're going as
gotta
soon
go.
as we've done the stream.
Yeah.
Guys, I feel like we've complained enough for the last 2.5 hours. So
Hey, we had some good discussions.
there's going to be comments under the video about how I'm an asshole and how all I do is complain. So enjoy that. I will. It's my favorite thing.
I mean, I thought we had some fantastic discussions. This feels very therapeutic for me because there is so much to love about the Wheel of Time that
Matt equals Mollymock. No spoilers for Campaign 2.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Because that animated show's coming and I am so excited.
Mm-hmm.
This is just for the critters out there.
Yeah.
I am so excited for Campaign 2 and all the jokes that the visual gags are going to do with Sprinkle. And how often Laura forgets about Sprinkle. Because, like, it's going to be... I already know that they're going to go crazy with it, and I fucking can't wait.
I have no idea what any of that means. So
Well, and apparently, Oscar brings up Star Wars struggling aside from Andor. Apparently, Andor isn't coming out until 2025. Apparently, Season 2 of Andor might not come out next year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Because wasn't Andor 2023 or 2022? That didn't even come out this year.
No, it was this year.
No, wasn't it?
It was this
last
summer.
Christmas?
Wait.
No, Andor was pre-celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Andor was like a year ago. And now season 2 might not come out until 2025. It might be 3 years between seasons of Andor.
Yeah, fuck, cool. I love that for us.
Like, why?
Last Christmas. That's where my brain went. Yeah.
Next week will be a much more structured stream. This was just to celebrate and like people want to talk about Wheel of Time, and I'm sorry that we didn't like it that much, but I'm very excited for Cosmere.
Honestly, very, very, very
excited.
Yes.
I'm very excited to start reading again. We haven't read much in the last month because it's been busy, so
Yes.
I'm excited to sit down with a book and just read.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it came out at the same time as Rings of Power and House of the Dragon.
No, it didn't because it did not come
It
out while we
overlapped.
were at Dragon. No, wait, that was the first season. Wait, no, yeah.
Season 1 of Andor overlapped with the... No, it wasn't out then. Yeah, no, it might have been.
In September? No.
Yeah, because I think it came out on Tuesday night.
I thought it came out in it's got to be like November of 2022.
But then it would have overlapped with the end of...
Oh, the end of it, I guess. Yeah. I thought, wow.
November. It ended in November. But it was 12 episodes.
Yeah, but the first 3 dropped at the same time.
Yeah, but that's still 3 months.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, 9 weeks. That covers 3 months. First episode, it was September. So yeah, it was 2 weeks after DragonCon.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And it might not be till 2025.
Fuck. Okay, well, that is what it is. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, it's been notably absent from anything about 2024 releases from Disney.
Okay.
Wild, right?
Well, there you go.
This is the problem with streaming television. That's been our stream. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me in comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is Madeline Madden.
There you go.
The like if Wheel of Time season 2 was going to win an Emmy, it would be her in my opinion. I think that, and maybe the costuming. I think the costuming was really strong in season 2. But she's great as Egwene, and if we get the full Egwene arc, I think that as an actress, she will definitely be able to carry it.
Oh, 1,000%. I have no doubts. No doubts at all. She's wonderful.
Yeah, really, really loved her. If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at nerdynightly.
I'm at Clara's Polaris, and I'm going to be streaming tomorrow.
Yeah, she's going to be streaming tomorrow. I will probably be streaming Spider-Man on Sunday. And then, well, maybe. We'll see. We have to, if you're going to be in Toronto on Sunday for New Year's, we are going to be the cosplay judges at the Stormcrow Manor's New Year's Eve party.
New Year's Eve party, yeah.
So if you are going to be in Toronto, come hang out at Stormcrow Manor.
Hell yeah.
The tickets might be sold out. I don't know.
No, I think just the early access ones were, yeah, I think there's still some available.
The party theme is Baldur's Gate. So we are going to be doing a D&D kind of thing. Happy New Year, everybody. If we don't see you before then, I'm going to try and stream one more time so that we can get the channel affiliated. But if we don't see you until 2024, 2023 was one of the most wild years of my life, one of the best with you and this channel. I'm so excited for what 2024 is going to bring. So it's going to be fun. We're going to do a lot of reactions. We're going to play a lot of D&D. We have a thing coming out in May that I'm very excited for. We're doing our Candela Obscurity TRPG, Wheel of Time, The Secrets of the Trolloc Wars is coming, and in the fall winter time, our Expanse TTRPG live action thing is going to come. So we've got a lot of content coming in the next year. It's going to be really fun. But to say goodbye to Book Club, to say goodbye to Wheel of Time for a while, because we probably won't talk about it for a while, this has been the Nerdy Wordy Book Club. Why don't you go do something nerdy tonight?
Thanks for being here, y'all.
Bye. Thank you, Mods.
Farewell. And thank you, Yellow Cake. Appreciate y'all.
Yep.